Yeah, this is gonna be quite something. All right, off you go.
All right, we're getting what I wanted. Our players are taking the exact same route, and never mind.
So much for that.
Oh, and of course, in Keysanity, as you all know, you need to find dungeon maps to learn what the crystals or pendant dungeon locations are, or like which dungeons are which. And of course, the first map we find is a Hyrule Castle map, which is useless.
And the hexmage just found Spike Cave down in the fortune teller's hut here that nobody ever goes into in normal rando.
Well, Nitori finds a good portion of Skull Woods very early on, so it's a few chests that they can check along the way. The only problem is with 3 hearts, those Gibdo hugs are pretty dangerous as well.
Yeah, you basically don't want to touch anything ever if you can help it. Looks like Tairr came out at the race game on the right side and grabbed $300.
Was that a 300? It was only 100.
Oh,
Still,
just 100. Okay.
Good to have, because that if you find a bomb shop like what Hexmage just found, would be some extra bombs along the way, or that's money for the bottle vendor, which is always going to be there. You don't ever have to worry about the bottle vendor not being in his normal spot. Imagine if they shuffled bottle vendor, so he's like, you have to talk to some random NPC somewhere. He's like, I'm actually the bottle vendor.
That would be horrible.
Oh, and we got the Waterfall Fairy Cave. There's your 300. There we go.
All right, very nice. Meanwhile, Nitori finds another Skull Woods entrance here.
Ooh, wait, that's a good find.
That's a really good find right at the start here, finding the mirror, and Tairr finds the Mimic Cave while Wolfman is running around in Paradox Cave, not quite sure how to get back there without a mirror.
Yeah, so Wolfman needs to go find that mirror in Skull Woods. Mirror's really nice because of just being able to mirror out of dungeons. Nitori having a little bit of trouble with only 1 heart in Death Mountain. There's so much death all around you. Taking that first death of our 4 players.
And Wolfman is grabbing that mirror. Unfortunately, he of course doesn't know where this exit spits him out, so he might be very far away from where he actually wants to be.
Oh, and we found the entrance to Turtle Rock. And as you can see on Wolfman's side, we're just gonna go for a little bit of a ride. Ooh, wait, you should have gone back in there. That was the top of Paradox Cave. Now you have to go through the whole cycle again.
Tairr finds a small GT key in the back of the graveyard ledge, which is apparently where the bomb shop used to be in Kakariko.
I feel like Nitori is taking notes. Probably explaining why they're stopping a lot. It's not laggy. It's... Oh, Wolfman, what? Oh, yeah, that's the fun part. You go into that room and you get immediately sniped.
Alright, there's Hyrule Castle, apparently. There's the back of Desert.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy watching screen transitions, because we're going to have well over 1,000 of them. And Wolfman finding Eastern Palace. So they'll be able to clear a lot of this, though they don't have the big key on them yet. So they won't be able to check the big chest.
Alright, let's see what he can get out of Eastern here. 50 rupees as his first item. Already grabbed that mirror from Skull Woods earlier, so...
Tairr, 4 minutes in, finds Laser Bridge. Can't really do much here. Except die.
He tried pushing past, but nope. That beetle is having none of it. Just gonna try again here. Let's just going further in.
I believe the lasers do 3 hearts of damage, so he's got to be a little quicker than that. Yeah, that's going to be a little tough without the boots, or at least one of the safeties.
Yeah, laser skip is definitely tough in itself, and then without the boots, it's even tougher. And considering, 3 hearts and green mail, looks like Tairr is set on it though. He wants those 4 chests.
I wonder how many attempts we'll see from him before he bails. Oh, there's one! We got a map to Skull Woods, so that's some nice info. And no worry about taking a dive. You're one shot away from death anyway, so... Oh, man, that timing's hard. I've never personally, I've never tried to, like, walk through the lasers.
Yeah, I've never personally tried it either. I've seen it in races before. I know it can be done, but it's extremely precise, and I'm not sure. Tairr apparently also saying, yeah, it's not worth my time anymore.
So yeah, personally, I think it's a good idea to visit as many of these single locations around Kakariko first, because we're looking for a lot of, you know, chest-heavy locations like Blind's Hut, but we're fighting a lot of extra dungeons. We got Wolfman finding Aga 2, Tairr finding the beginning of Pod, or just Pod in general.
The big key to Desert and Paradox Cave. He had the mirror to get past that block, so he can clear out quite a bit here.
Now, I don't remember, but I feel... I want to know if that using that mirror there is considered a sequence break, since it is a minor glitch, and this is no glitches. But it is kind of like one of those things that are more or less required in Entrance Shuffle. You see that a lot.
Yeah, you really can't get around it, basically.
Hexmage picking up the lantern in the back of Escape. And another heart container, which at this point is very, very nice to have. Tairr finding Tower of Hera. So we already got Pod, Hera, Eastern. We've seen many portions of T-Rock. We've seen Aga 2. And we've seen portions of Skull Woods. So still a few more.
Okay, just a couple bombs in the Hera basement here. I'm not sure. Tairr is going to check out the one chest that he can get to here. Obviously, not having a small key or the big key, he's really kind of locked out.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh. That's our weapon. This is swordless, so that is one of the most important items in this game. And Tairr is the first one to find it in Tower of Hera.
That is really, as you say, probably the most important find in this whole seed right now.
And the question is, which cycle was that in? I mean, we see one of the exits, but how did he get to there in the first place? So if we see Pod under the other screens, we know that the players just need to go through a couple more times, and they'll find their hammer in Hera. Oh, there's the second part of Desert. Though at this point, we still don't know what dungeons are pendants and crystals. And this isn't all dungeons, so our players are not going to have to beat every single dungeon like they had to in the Entrance Shuffle yesterday.
Yeah, and keep in mind in Key Sanity, the music of the dungeons is absolutely lying to you. Most of the time, anyway. It's definitely randomized, so we won't know if it's a crystal or a pendant until they find either the map or they just go and beat the boss.
Which, at this point, we can't do any of that. We can't kill anything.
Nope.
That's the thing. We're still looking for so many keys, and a lot of times they're just going to be... A lot of the keys I noticed were actually in the dungeons, so it's like you got to beat one dungeon to unlock the next dungeon. But we'll see how this one goes.
GG big key. I think the only small key we've seen so far, I'm sure I've missed something because it's really hard to keep track of everything going on in this craziness, but I think the only small key we've seen so far is the GT small key in the back of Graveyard Ledge Cave, which was at Kakariko somewhere.
And we've seen Desert and Thieves Town big keys now currently, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, we got oh, there's the Desert. Nice. So yeah, if Tairr was to find Thieves Town, he would be able to complete it, just not clear it completely. Until he finds that small key, he's not going to be able to get that big chest. Oh, and there was the Moon Pearl. Oh, that was the one that Nitori missed because they died against the mini Moldorans. Moon Pearl up in the top right chest.
That's...
I don't remember if they went back yet.
I don't believe they have. I'm not sure, though. I think it would show up on the tracker.
Oh, and Tairr takes a death in the dark room. It's a little hard when you only have that hammer. We know where the lamp is, so as soon as he finds the back of escape, he'll be able to knock that out. So just got to check some of these drops. So I don't remember where. Maybe it was in Kakariko Well? Tairr, go back. Play the game. Play the bow game.
Oh, my favorite NPC in the whole game.
What is he? Like a Redead or not a Redead? That's, what are they called? The ones from Ocarina of Time. The zombies.
Yeah, I think they're called Redeads. Yeah.
Oh man. So Nitori finding Misery Mire in the back of desert, and Tairr finding the blacksmiths in the back of the Lost Woods, and a small key. Which one is this? Another Dark Palace. That's one of what, 6?
Yeah, I believe it's 6.
Oh, nice. All right.
That's exactly where Tairr needs to be.
I doubt he's going to go back to Eastern anytime soon, just for that one chest.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised.
Curious to see what Hexmage is going to find down in Zelda Cell. Doesn't have a weapon yet, so having to rely on bombs, and only with 2 bombs left, they're not going to be able, unless they get a bomb drop right here, or something of use in that next chest, they're not going to be able to finish this.
Yeah, 1 bomb not enough to kill this blue guard, and it's just a compass.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, at least you got the information of where it is. It's just, it always feels bad to have to go back to somewhere.
Tairr going all the way through to the other side of Sanctuary, and Wolfman finding G-Tower. Now, they can only check 2 chests, and they haven't found that 1 small key yet, so they can't really do anything else. But we got Turtle Rock small key and a piece of heart.
Alright, so nothing too great yet, but having the information that Ganon's Tower is at Tower of Hera location is a very important thing to have, because in Entrance Shuffle, especially if Ganon's Tower is shuffled, Ganon's Tower really has the option, I guess I would say, of being a huge treasure trove. In a normal seed, you usually have everything that you need to get to Ganon's Tower, very obviously, because how will you get in there otherwise? But in an Entrance Shuffle, since you can find it pretty much anywhere, and as we see, these guys have like 3 hearts and a mirror and nothing, you can just walk in there. So if you have a few items that you need to maneuver around in there, you can get to like 20 or something chests that could all have very important things for you.
Yeah, and in this game mode, well, same with Key Sandy in general, we're more likely to see that Ganon's Tower big chest get opened up, so. And what is in Super Bunny Cave? We got a big 20 and a heart container. So that brings up Wolfman's health to 4 hearts, which is very nice. Maybe we should have made this an easy mode, just to help these players out a slight bit.
It's definitely a little bit on the stingy side so far. I mean, these guys have mostly been trying to find interesting entrances, but the heart pieces have definitely been lacking.
Tairr's got to be careful. He's probably not going to survive this. Nope. But he did get his Moon Pearl. Wolfman finding the back entrance of Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, decides to leave, has no bombs.
Yeah, a lot of extensive note-taking from these players, which is a very smart thing to do. It does, take a little bit of time, but the worst thing in the world in Randomizer in general, or just when you're racing this, is forgetting that single location. We've seen tournament matches come to a screeching halt when one player just completely misses one location that ends up having a required item. And then, you spend the next hour just like, are they going to remember? Please remember. I don't know about you. I should be taking notes, but I'm relying on you, Herfy. You got this.
Okay, thanks. I'll try my best.
No, we got an amazing crew of trackers helping us out with this one. It should be easy.
Yeah, I think we should be good to go. Once things start to settle down a little bit, I mean, in the beginning, what options do you have as a player in this kind of mode? You basically just go into random entrances and then kind of follow the chain of exits and entrances that lead you along the way.
Mm-hmm. So it's worth noting that Misery Mire and Ganon's Tower were both in that the right side door of Impa's house. So that's just pretty much a G Tower in Kakariko. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, those are reasonably easy to reach, and I believe the Sanctuary exit also leads to a not so inconvenient location, which I've conveniently forgotten about already, but it's not too far of a walk. Which, is always another thing to consider in entrance rando. You just go into your usual save and quit spots, and then you walk out of the old man like the hexmage, and suddenly you're here. And then in Hyrule Castle.
It's interesting because you're so like Link's house is always going to be the same, but you're like, all right, cool. I'll start Sanctuary, go to Kakariko. Oh, but Sanctuary leads to Death Mountain or something. You're like, oh, all right, well, I'll just save and quit and go to the old man. Oh, old man leads to the cave right next to where a Sanctuary left. So you're like, well, those are useless pretty much. So yeah, I'm curious, when are we going to see the rest of these players, find that hammer? I don't remember where Tower of Hera was.
What's the entrance? Oh, wait, never mind. The entrance to Tower of Hera led to Ganon's Tower.
Oh, we got Swamp Palace. Yeah. And the Aga Tower entrance. Something a lot of players might not remember is the fact that you can use the sword to crack that thing open. But only leading to the left door in Impa's house, so... Tairr, if you go to the right, you can check a couple chests in G Tower.
Yeah, very true. Oh.
Mire, can't do anything here.
No, wait, G Tower is up on in the Tower of Hera entrance. How does he get up there?
You'll see. He just needs to keep going through. Doesn't have a glove, so he can't leave there.
No choice on this one. Also, no choice on this one. Alright, we're getting there.
Super Bunny Cave, alright.
Okay, I remember now.
When we got Nitori up in the Ice Rod Cave section, we find Checkerboard Cave, only a big 20. Doesn't have gloves, so you can't open that one spot up, which is really unfortunate. Knowing you'll have to come back there and check that later. And the other spot is useless. Tairr, first of our 4 players, moving up to 5 hearts. We're getting somewhere.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Dude, every heart counts in this game mode.
Oh, it definitely does.
So, all of our other players, aside from Tairr, need to find that hammer in Tower of Hera. Hexmage needs to find that mirror as well, and they are just about to grab it as I finish saying that.
That was an interesting choice by Tairr. I guess he realized he can't really do anything in Hookshot Cave right now, but he bombed open that wall and then he left.
He bombed open one wall? Because there's 2 bomb walls.
He bombed open the right wall that would lead into Hookshot Cave normally, and then he just left. We'll see. Maybe he realized he can't really do anything there, so...
Yeah, it might have been worth checking where the exit takes you to. Because as far as we can tell, we haven't gotten to the Dark World yet.
No, we've seen a couple of Dark World dungeons, but that's really it.
Though I don't know I don't know if this mode actually will send you to the Dark World.
Well, there's no fake light or dark world. That's what I know about.
Uh-huh.
So I believe... I'm not sure if that means you can't enter in the light world and then exit in the dark world.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Oh, nice. We'll be able to see all the way to the end of Zelda Self from Tairr's side, so we'll find out what's going on there. Tori going to the Hobo, getting a small key for Swamp Palace. Ooh, that's actually a very important small key. That basically locks out the entirety of Swamp Palace, not having that. And it being at Hobo, you know, it's pretty convenient, actually.
You could say it's probably the most important small key in all of Swamp.
I would say that. If about Swamp, I would definitely say that it is the most important key of all of Swamp. I will go with that, Herpy. I'm following you. I see what you did.
Yay.
Yay. With that lamp as well, we haven't seen that sewer chest yet, I don't believe. Maybe we have. And Hexmage, finding that laser bridge, thinking to themselves, do I have what it takes?
Oh, he juked that beetle very nicely and skips the first laser without much, well, except for it getting sniped in the back, but maybe that was planned.
Zelda Cell has another map. Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's not the worst map you can find, I guess. Kinda convenient to know if it's a pendant or not.
Oh, definitely. If you could not do Swamp Palace or Ice Palace or any of the dungeons in this mode, I mean, the amount of time save is amazing.
Well, it looks like Hexmage is investing some more time into the laser bridge. Finds a big 20 along with the map that Tairr also picked up. Let's see if he decides to keep going or not.
And what is in these sewers for Tairr? We have magic powder. Well, we haven't seen Batcave yet, but now that I think about it, that hammer does open up that Kakariko Batcave thing, which I don't know if we've seen or not.
I don't think we have.
And we got Bombos on top of Spectacle Rock. Might be needing that. Oh, and he can get that. He has the mirror.
He was thinking about getting into the Spectacle Rock cave, but then he obviously doesn't know where he comes out of, so... Oh, man. That's huge.
Oh, that is huge. This could be big for Hexmage.
He's exactly one bomb.
First player to find Lion's Basement, and we got 5 items coming up. But who'd have thought that would be hiding in Spectacle? Or in Spike Cave? Who would have thought?
Okay, a shovel in there, so that might lead to something. Tori is really close.
Gotta get that single arrow out of the way. Big key for Skull Woods, which they have access to. They can get that.
Oh, are we seeing Ego 1 from Tairr here?
The Madman. It's kind of hard with only one heart.
Yeah, and with only the hammer, it's...
Yeah, this is going to be rough, but he can't do much of any of it anyway. Oh, no.
Ouch.
He can at least get that first chest, so I would assume he'd go back in. Oh, man, these players still need to find that hammer. That hammer is so nice to have. And, you know, kind of important. We got the library, also in the Dark World, with a small key on top, so that might be required for something.
Yeah, those small keys, they're pretty important in the key sanity seed.
Woof. Just 50 rupees for Tairr in Agate Tower. We'll probably come back here once we get another small key.
He is getting close to that Zora money, though.
That is true. So right now, it's really hard to say who's got a lead, but I got to give it to Tairr right now just because he's the only one with a real weapon. And a very required weapon as well.
Just having that hammer, I would also agree that puts Tairr square in the lead here, really. It's next to impossible to tell who's actually progressed the furthest, I guess.
Yeah, it depends. I want to see what that shovel leads to for Hexmage.
Mm-hmm.
For people just joining, the hammer is in the first chest, like actual chest, in Tower of Hera. Now, I don't remember where Tower of Hera was hidden, which cycle it was at. So we'll just have to wait and see. And Wolfman's got to be careful. Though they did pick up their Moon Pearl. Gonna take a death, get on out of here.
Man, all those mini Moldoms were really coming for him.
Alright, we've seen 3 people now, I think, go into the bow and arrow minigame and not continue, and not play it. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, everyone is shunning that poor guy. Alright, now Tairr writing down the location of GT. Gonna grab those 2 chests that he can get to, and with the hammer in hand, he can actually not really get anything else, can he?
He could bomb jump in that one area.
Okay, yeah,
he really wants
could.
to. And after seeing him do the laser bridge stuff, I could easily see him wanting to at least bomb jump up to that Stalfos room.
Yeah, looks like he's not leaving, at least.
Though he only has 2 bombs, so it's going to be kind of rough. Nitori finding the Ice Palace. Can't do anything here. They do have bombos, but in Swordless, bombos or any of the medallions are only used to open up Mire and T-Rock. They cannot be used as weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be needing a Fire Rod to do Ice Palace.
Alright, Tairr, we're going to need to see 2 super bomb jumps from you. Oh, nope.
And there it is. Oh, wow. And Nitori finding the Thieves' Town. Not going to be able to complete it without a hammer. I don't know if I also know if they've been to Eastern and have the big key for this dungeon, so... But we'll find out what these first 4 chests hold. So I believe that is in the Eastern Palace entrance, is Ice Palace and Thieves' Town.
Oh, that's interesting. I like a good Light World Thieves' Town because that means the little cricket thingies are turned into rats.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always very convenient.
You can always tell what world you're in based on what pot designs are there. They're the skull pots, you're in the dark world. They're the regular pots, you're not in the dark world. Very simple. Oh, and I just remember, yeah, Wolfman reminding us that the Mimic Cave is in Kakariko Village, and Tairr, if he goes there, could go do Mimic Cave right now, and we can find out what's in there.
Looks like, normally I'd say, looks like he's about to check the Batman, which he probably also thought of because of the hammer and the powder that he has, but probably not going to lead him there.
Well, we still haven't seen Ganon fall yet. It might lead him into Skull Woods, because there are 4 different drops into the Skull Woods that are randomized. We've already seen Escape. We haven't seen Lumberjack or the Thieves' Hideout thing that's in Lost Woods generally. Let's see which one we get. We get... Aw, little fairy fountain.
Oh, what a bummer.
Not really helpful, but not even going to take the free health.
Yeah, Tairr's not having any of that.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the annoying, the kind of annoying parts about the Madness entrance shuffle is you're going through Kakariko, you're going through someplace that has a bunch of single locations, then all of a sudden you get distracted and you go through like that, and then all of a sudden you're in Death Mountain. You're like, oh man, I got to get back to Kakariko. And without a flute, there's no convenient way to get back.
Yeah, you really... You kind of have to hope that one of your save and quit spots spits you out in a convenient location, otherwise you'll just have to walk everywhere all seed long.
Definitely. But we got Nitori continuing through Thieves' Town, does not have the hammer, so can't actually defeat Blind, but can do pretty much everything else in here except check the big chest. Tairr checking a few more of these spots. Finding Ganon.
Hi, Ganon.
There he is.
How's it going?
Give him a hug. Give him a hug. Give him a hug. Yeah. Oh, is he gonna find out? Is he gonna find out where silvers are? No, no way.
I think he just gives you another bit of advice about finishing your quest without giving you the silver hint to continue on.
All right.
Okay.
What?
I think this is like an artifact of having the mirror and the moon pearl and being in the Ganon fight and getting killed by Ganon. It assumes you killed Agatu and are at the end of the game, and that's why it spits you out in the Dark World.
Well, if it's in the game, I guess it's part of it.
Tairr, anyways.
With the tremendous advantage.
Quite helpful, I would say.
Huh. Well, that's a new one. All right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm only guessing, as I said. I'm not sure if that's really what happens, but that's my best guess at this point.
It makes sense, yeah. Huh. Well, let's see what we find over in the... let's see what we find over in the Palace of Darkness area.
For continuity's sake, let's just say Ganon killed him so hard that he ended up in the Dark World.
He was sent to the Shadow Realm.
Banished forever.
Alright, Nitori, continuing to go through Thieves' Town, Wolfman finding Eastern Palace. Tairr taking a murder dactyl to the face. Which is really annoying because that one small cave way over there, and it takes him back to the light world. It
kind of fixed itself weirdly.
Okay.
What? Okay.
I wonder if Tairr was thinking, like, I shouldn't be here. Maybe I should be. Well, now he knows. If he wants to go back to the Dark World, all he has to do is just go give Ganon a hug.
Yeah, that's pretty convenient. Oh, and there's Spike Cave, but with 5 hearts and no safety items at all. No bottles, no cave, no nothing.
So we don't really have that much information. Has Hexmage checked the shovel spot yet? That's what I'm curious about. And we need Tairr to go to Mimic Cave. Just because I want to know what's there. I feel like that could be our very next progression item. All we need is a glove, and then we have access to a good portion of the Dark World. Thus, Ganon, Tairr's misadventures with Ganon aren't going to be as, what's the word? I don't have a word for it. Yeah, Tairr's going to be able to find, what was it? Oh, he's going to find Thieves' Town if he continues this route. So we'll be able to see a full clear of Thieves' Town and potentially get our first crystal and or pendant, guys.
That might happen.
Wolfman, our second player into Thieves' Town, still does not have the hammer, but I'm assuming does have the Thieves' Town big key because that was in Eastern Palace.
Yep. Which Tairr is going to right now. Of course, it's not actually going to lead him to Eastern Palace. I think we had Ice Palace here in this region and Thieves' Town, as you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these little caves down here are really just out of the way and obnoxious in entrance shuffle. Hopefully this one leads to something good. Hey, Bonk Rocks. Hey, a heart container.
Ooh, Sank Heart.
Even better. Unfortunately for Tairr, you know, if he hadn't died, he could have checked the one that was in the Dark World, mirrored, and then checked that one. It would have been even more convenient routing, being able to do double duty.
Looks like Tairr's not too happy about finding that heart immediately. Face palming into an Octorok.
Well, he doesn't want to. He wanted to get rid of his sword beams, clearly.
Oh yeah, of course.
His hammer beams.
So the Hexmage now fake flippering up to Hobo, which we already established a pretty good find.
Gonna be getting that Swamp Palace small key. All right, Tairr, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Thieves' Town, go. Go wild.
He's looking if he has anything for Thieves' Town already. I think he has the big key, obviously, but no small keys.
But be able to do everything except check that big chest. But at the prospect of completing your first dungeon and killing your first boss, 35 minutes into the match, yeah, I might as well go for it. And Wolfman finding Ganon. I wonder if they'll take a good Ganon hug to the face.
All right, let's see if our theory holds up here.
Are we going to the Dark World? Do it. Do it. Do it. Don't. There we go. And
yep. All right.
All
right, I'm gonna assume that's one for the bug reports, but you know, we'll just go with it for now.
It's a feature, all right. It's a feature. Ooh, and we got the waterfall fairy is actually the chess game.
Okay, that's 2 chests that you get to open and maybe find something.
Actually finds a piece of heart.
Oh, I didn't even realize that the compass to Thieves Town was in Thieves Town.
Yeah, it's pretty convenient.
It also gave... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go for it.
I was just wondering about... it gave a text box, even though it wasn't a dungeon that it's supposed to be in. Probably confused with the entrance randomizer on top of it.
Yeah, I would assume so. Because normally if you get it in vanilla, a box doesn't come up, you just keep going.
Oh, we got our first Zora check from Hexmage. Only, well, I wouldn't even say only, it was a heart container.
Yeah, and at this stage, heart containers are still really nice when we don't have a male upgrade or any safeties. We have 0 safeties still. Well, I guess powder is kind of nice, as we saw on Tairr's side, taking out that Anafairy.
Yeah, I'm putting that hammer to good use. I mean, we're like almost 40 minutes in, and the player with the most hearts right now has 7, and the player with the least hearts still has 4 only. Oh, I get sniped by the same murder dactyl.
Oh my gosh. That guy's taking out everybody.
On the Tairr stream, we can hear the disguised rats.
And another heart. Yeah, that's the nice thing about those rats, is because they'll only do, a quarter heart of damage.
Yeah, if you manage to find Thieves Town in a Light World entrance and entrance randomizer, it's just so much safer thanks to those enemies being changed. And Nitori is now also gonna take the shortcut to the Dark World here.
We've got our 3rd Ganon hug of the match. We just need Hexmage to go get a Ganon hug. Now, let's see if we can get our 3rd Murder Dactyl kill. Please. That would be amazing. I don't ever want to see that cave over in Palace of Darkness, ever.
The thing is, these guys, without a glove or a hammer, are kind of railroaded to go down there, so I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see a 3rd Murder Dactyl kill.
Yeah, that's surprising, because Tairr could have gone, to Hype Cave or to any of the other stuff with that hammer in hand. But, this wasn't predicted. By the logic, you shouldn't be here right now, so... It's just another sequence break, pretty much.
Tairr going a little bit on autopilot here. No, actually, I'm an idiot, and he doesn't have a glove. I thought he was going to go and try to open up the big chest door, because I certainly would have.
It's really easy to go into autopilot, especially with something as overwhelming as this.
Yeah, and if you're in an actual dungeon and doing stuff.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
We got Hexmage with that 1 Dark Palace key that we did find, finds the glove right at the beginning of Pod.
Oh man, that is absolutely huge.
Followed by an Ice Palace big key, so that is a huge find. Tairr down to 2 hearts. He's got to be careful against this blind fight.
I just realized that he did find the cape in here apparently, but if you activate the cape, you can't use the hammer, so it's not as easy as it looks.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Oh, he was so close. Oh no, Hexmage, go back. Hexmage was just in Tower of Hera, which we all know is where the hammer is, but decided to leave and go back in. they need to keep cycling through and find that hammer.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to it. Like they just need to. And it looks like Nitori, first one to not die to the murderodactyl. So kudos to them.
Very nicely done. Meanwhile, Wolfman is making his way into Tower of Hera. He's going to see just the bombs here, and then going to be picking up his hammer.
Now, unfortunately for Tairr, taking that death against Blind means you lose that easy first cycle, like that free first cycle of Blind. But he's a veteran. He's got this. Second try is going to be the one. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, he has more than 2 hearts now, which is always a good start.
Yeah. So yeah, Wolfman picking up the hammer. Our second player on screen to have the hammer. Have we seen the shovel spot yet from Hexmage? Because if not, I'm getting kind of mad. Where's my shovel?
I either completely missed it or we still haven't seen it. I think he's just been busy going into and out of entrances and exits.
Oh my gosh, this Blind is not being friendly at all.
Oh man, Tairr really close to death here again. Come on, buddy.
Oh! Hammer hitbox is hard enough. Come on, Tairr, go back in. You got this. No! Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like Tairr has a 2 tries maximum policy. I'm not sure if that's true. I just feel like I've seen him leave after dying to a boss twice before.
Mm. Yeah, Wolfman finding Blind's basement, which, if I recall correctly, didn't really have too much of value, and Nitori finding the second part of Skull Woods, so this is going to be one more item. I don't think they have the big key here. Oh, and Tairr, with that cape in hand, going to be checking a few more of these chests.
Oh, he could also... Sorry, go ahead.
He doesn't have enough magic to do it completely.
Oh, man.
So hopefully he can find some more.
I was just going to say he can also do Spike Cave.
That is true. Well, he needs that glove first.
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, man. I would have been the guy who walks all the way to the back and then realizes... Oops.
We've all done it once. And there's that dark... Wait. Hold on. Was that the only Dark Palace small key we've seen so far?
No, there's definitely more than one because I don't believe we've seen... who was in there earlier?
We've had... I think it was Hexmage. Might have been Hexmage. Yeah, that's got to be our second one because otherwise the game would be like, all right, get the cape out of Thieves Town to go to Laser Bridge to get the small key for Dark Palace to go get the glove, which is highly possible. But yeah, Tairr picking up the Misery Mire big key and probably pick up this Bombos Medallion. All right, never mind. I guess he doesn't really need it, but speaking of Bombos Medallion, Nitori going to be checking in this Misery Mire entrance. What other dungeons are we looking for? I guess the rest of Desert, for instance.
Yeah, that'd be a start. We've seen Swamp, we've seen Pod, we've seen Ice, we've been in TT. We've seen Mire as well. I'm not really sure what could still be in there.
Oh, and we got our first information about dungeons. Ice Palace is going to be our green pendant today. Thank you, Sahasrara. It's kind of like one of the perks of checking these, or of the entrances. You gotta kind of take advantage of Sahasrara. Oh my gosh. Speaking of taking advantage of Sahasrara, we're stealing his boots. Almost vanilla boots, guys. That's amazing.
Oh, very close.
So that is huge for Nitori. But as I was saying before, we take advantage of the information that you get from Sahasrara or from the bomb hut, the bomb shop. They will tell you where the green pendant is and where crystals 5 and 6 are. So kind of defeating the purpose of, needing the maps for some of these dungeons, but at the same time, very helpful.
So Hexmage now also making his way through Thieves Town. He is going to be picking up his cape as well. I'm kind of... Oh no, never mind. Tairr has his cape. Who else? Wasn't Wolfman in Thieves Town earlier?
I don't think they went downstairs because I wonder, because you know some players do forget that you can get past that one room by killing all the guards. I don't honestly remember what Wolfman's. We'll have to wait and see if they pause. That's the problem with like tracking when you have quick swap on, is that they don't pause as often. So just got to keep an eye on, see if it goes through the cycle. But yeah, Wolfman taking advantage of this weird Ganon depth scenario. Hammer in hand, gonna be checking out some stuff down in the Dark World. And Hexmage just... Oh, speaking of, let's get that 5 and 6. Turtle, Rock, and Swamp. So that's a lot of items that we still need.
That is a lot of items. Thankfully, we already know where that one small key for Swamp is, so that's a start at least.
Yeah, but we still gotta find not only the items to do those, but the dam as well. That can be a tricky location to find sometimes. I wonder, should we... I feel like we should let the players know that a Ganon hug leads to a fancy surprise. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean...
Because this seems like it's unintended.
I agree. On the other hand, I feel like 99% of the players will probably give Ganon a hug and then save and continue.
True. Alright. So, Herfy, what do you think our next regression item is going to be? We've seen... Our boots was the last one that we found. But what's going to be the next one?
Let's see. I think we're going to find a hookshot to take us back to that hookshot cave that Tairr found earlier.
You know, that would be nice. That is a good amount of items. The other thing to note is with that glove or the boots in hand, you can at least check that one chest in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, you never know if that's in the logic or not. I mean, it is in the logic, but you never know if it's required or not.
Yeah, Nitori having to dance around with his blue guard, making sure he runs into all the bombs. Unfortunately for him, he's not really going to get rewarded with anything down here, but being able to write that off your list is actually nice. So let's see. Sahasrah's hut was in Misery Mire. So I'm assuming one of the exits was... Because you know how sometimes you can come out the exit of... Or the entrance exit of like T-Rock or the back half of Skull Woods or Mire. Like you exit, but it's like it's still locked behind you. So you're like, I don't know. There's no reason I should be here. This shouldn't be a thing. I'm assuming that's how Nitori got to Misery Mire area.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
Oh man, we got on Tairr's side, he does have a fire source, he does have the big key, he does have a weapon. Are we gonna see some hammer strats on Landmola coming up?
Oh man, I'm not a huge Hammer Landmola fan, but Tairr seems to be confident that he can do it, so might as well. Once he found it.
That's the thing. It's all within logic for the most part. The game might require you to do this in order to progress. Who knows? Only downside is he is missing a lot of health, so he's got to be careful.
Yeah, and again, the cape usually very helpful in situations like this, but if your hammer is your only weapon, you're not going to be able to use that cape as well.
Ooh, Wolfman taking a double dip, getting bopped on the way down in Skull Woods. That's kind of an unfortunate death, to die whilst falling.
Oh yeah.
It's a very vulnerable state to be in. Yeah, Tairr doing really well with these hammer strats.
Yeah, he's tearing it up.
No, Herfy, please. That was so last turn. Come on.
I know. I apologize.
You don't have to. I forgive you.
No, I have to, because now he's down to half a heart. Okay,
Oh, he's got it.
down.
Well, that's the thing. It's how many? Oh man, just a dungeon map. But hold on, it's just dependent.
Oh no!
Guys, we got our first dependent. Well, that's good, I guess. Now we know where 2 of the dependents are.
He's 1/3 of the way to the pedestal. I'm like mega herfy today. I say all the things that I don't want to hear ever.
All right, so let's talk about what each of these players needs to do right now. Nitori and Hexmage both need to go into that Tower of Hera, find that hammer. It is their main source of weaponry until they find like a fire rod or a cane of Samaria. But let's see.
I think the Hexmage here doing a good job putting his power glove to good use.
Yeah, hasn't really found anything of value yet, but still gonna be. It looks like they're heading all the way over to the Ice Rod Cave section to go check that one spot that they didn't get to check before. Let's see. Wolfman, Nitori, and Tairr all need to go back to Pod with that Dark Palace small key and get the glove. And then Tairr, Hexmage, and Wolfman need to somehow magically appear in the Misery Mire area and check the Mire shed where Sahasrahla is hiding to get the boots. Oh, man.
Oh, and just an arrow upgrade at the dig spot. I think someone in chat already enlightened us earlier, but now we see it for ourselves.
Well, that is thoroughly disappointing. And we got... Ooh, Pyramid Fairy. We got our first bottle. And a red rupee. No, wait, where are you going? You can throw the bottle in. Go get a potion or a bee.
Wait, it's bad him out at the same place?
What?
Isn't he supposed to go somewhere else when he's exiting?
Who?
Hexmage.
No, it's a single location.
Oh yeah, of course.
I've also noticed from playing yesterday that some dungeons are just single locations too. Like I went in one of the desert entrances and it just led to Misery Mire. And when I left, it put me right back in that desert spot. It's like, okay. That makes sense. So, maybe some of these cycles are a lot smaller than others? I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I'm definitely no expert myself.
Yeah, we got Nitori working their way backwards to check the Chain Chomp room in Turtle Rock.
We do know it's a crystal. Not that it really helps us anything right now, but, the more stuff you can check that is in the logic, the better off you are.
Oh my gosh, if these guys just pooled their items together, they'd be able to go to the Dark World. Oh man, this is very awkward trying to do this with only bombs.
Yeah.
Can you do it? Nitori!
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Ooh.
Stop.
Oh, man.
Stop. Get the chest, get the chest, get the chest. Go, 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 go.
Oh,
Yay!
man.
20.
All that for $20. Of course. Of course. I mean, really.
That's absolutely fantastic. Now, speaking of fantastic, Hexmage going into the graveyard, which you need a glove, finding the bottom of the well. So that's 5 chests right there. We get a rod.
Of some sort. I believe it was the ice rod.
A heart container. A big 20. Hey, ice rod is pretty good. You could use that on Landwall.
Yeah, plus, if I'm a Hexmage right now, I'm probably feeling pretty good with the amount of hearts he has now, all the money in the world. The only one with a glove, which of course he doesn't know, but it opens up a whole lot of things. Unfortunately, it seems like everything that it opens up also leads him away from that hammer.
Yeah, that's how it goes, though. I am still curious because wasn't Hexmage the one that found Hera but didn't go into Hera?
Yeah, I believe it was him. He saw it and then he left. Maybe even on accident. Sometimes you're just so into the whole going in, going back out, going back in, that you just accidentally leave, and then you're like, oh man, crap, I wanted to stay there.
Yeah, mistakes were made. We saw another Dark Palace key in the vanilla big key location in Turtle Rock, and on Wolfman's side, taking a crab to the face. Now, of all these players, Wolfman's still only sitting at 4 hearts, so there's some caves that Wolfman's just not finding.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. And this, for instance, is why it's always worth taking notes, because notes will help you. And it looks like Hexmage is going to be going back to the Dark World with a help from our little buddy Ganon. Hey, buddy. Hexmage. I think Hexmage is the only one that hasn't gotten a Ganon hug yet.
Oh, man, yeah.
Fortunately for our players that have gone to the Dark World via Ganon, they haven't really gotten any sort of an advantage of it. They haven't really found anything, and Wolfman taking another death to the crabs. I mean, when you only have 4 hearts and it takes 2 crabs to the face and you're down, it's really easy to die very quickly, as we've seen. So, and especially when you don't have, I mean, they do have a hammer, but those guys move so fast, and the hammer is kind of awful with its hitbox that it's easy to miss.
Yeah, I think trying to fight the crabs with a hammer is probably an easier way to die than just trying to dodge them somehow.
Was Nitori's Dark World adventure, is that how they got to Misery Mire?
Could have been.
I mean, they could have gone... I mean, I remember seeing somebody go through, so it might have been like, enter Swamp Palace entrance to get to somewhere that leads to... I don't remember.
Do you remember that Nitori was the only one who didn't die to a murder dactyl?
Oh, it was through the Palace of Dark... Okay, so yeah, that is a bit of an advantage.
Okay.
Oh, Wolfman! Alright, Wolfman, this is the one. This is it. This is where it happens. I feel so bad because they're going through all this trouble for... Oh, wait, well, they did find... There was something of value. Yeah, it was Pyramid Fairy. It was a bottle.
We still have not seen Sick Kid yet, though.
That's true. But that's the thing, is these players still haven't, like, really gotten to the Dark World yet.
Not officially, anyway.
Yeah, granted, it is a really silly way of getting to the Dark World. Or, like, the items are really dispersed. So we had Moon Pearl in Paradox Cave, Hammer in Tower of Hera, and Glove in Palace of Darkness.
Wolfman paying $20 for a couple of Japanese tax boxes. I'm not sure if that's what he hoped for there. Get some ride back, though.
Looks like Tairr's gonna go get a Ganon hug, so...
Man, I can't believe this is actually a mechanic here now.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is at this point. Nothing we can say. Nothing we can do now. It's out of our hands.
No, it's just, maybe it's even intended. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess. It's a huge sequence break, though.
It is.
Unless
I mean,
it's
if it's
part of the logic.
If it's not part of the logic, it's insane. And it should make this even crazier than it already is, which is kind of a feat in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's just how it's going to be now. So we'll see.
Tairr gonna check the Dark World Witch's hut, and then gonna have to go back, because he doesn't have a glove, so he can't check Catfish.
Yeah, let's see where this spits him out.
Some free money. Nitori, our second player on screen, to be picking up the gloves from Palace of Darkness. Going to be taking their second pod key to go check in the back. I mean, I guess that's just part of the nature of when you have, because like the seed I played yesterday, Ganon was in the Dark World, so I could not have set this up personally.
Yeah,
I could not have done the exact same thing. So maybe it is just part of the game. And Tairr, wising up to his previous death, using the cape to get through here, and finding Chicken House, which I don't recall if it had anything of value in it, because we did see Nitori go through here.
I think it might have been a heart or something. Oh, it's a key, actually.
And we apparently, Nitori picking up the Titan mitts in pod, so both gloves in Palace of Darkness.
Oh, wow.
And that is our Dark World access for Nitori, which is good, but also bad, because when the heck are they going to find that hammer at this point?
Yeah, it really is unfortunate for our two players here who are both still missing the hammer. They're finding so many good things, and it leads them all over the place to find more good things. But everything's apparently leading them away from the hammer.
Well, Palace of Darkness... Sorry, this is going off of someone in chat. Both gloves are in pod, but pod is accessible from the light world. So the goal Ganon death is not part of the sequence. Because pod was... I remember which part of the cycle it is. Probably one of the ones that started in Impus House.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think we've seen like 3 pod keys now. One was in Turtle Rock Vanilla Big Key Chest. One was on Laser Bridge. And I don't remember where the other one was, but...
I think the first one that they found, wasn't it the one that was in the Lost Woods?
You might be correct.
I know they found a small key there, I just don't remember if it was a pod key, but I believe it might have been. Oh, hello, Uncle.
Oh, G-Tower, big key. Oh.
Alright, if you guessed chest number 40-something, maybe 50, but probably higher.
Yeah, probably higher. And we got Hype Cave for Nitori in the Village of Outcasts, getting a couple big 20s, a compass, and a small key for Skull Woods, which is generally just another junk item. Ooh, Tairr. Gotta love those hammer hitboxes, right?
Yeah, he's not a fan right now, I'm assuming. Please don't die on your way to Hype Cave, Tairr. Oh, okay, never mind.
Wait, is that one of those?
Me.
Is that one of those 50-50 locations that has 50-50 chance of dropping a heart or a fairy? Because that seemed really, really convenient.
That was extremely convenient. Oh, okay. Apparently it is one of those 50-50 locations, so good for him.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know that. I just, I know of, there's a ton of them throughout the game. You really, and just having that, slight knowledge can give you a nice little advantage. Alright, yeah. Wolfman. Going through, gonna be picking up their glove. They don't have an extra key, so they can't check, or they can't get the Titan mitts. Talk to him. Tairr, talk to him.
He's writing down the location for maybe later, and then he's probably gonna talk them. Okay, first he's gonna buy bombs. Yeah, there we go.
Alright, so at this moment, Nitori gonna be the one with all the new information. We got Mini Moldorn Cave, giving him the business, and then we'll be able to see King's Tomb and North of Graveyard. Now this is funny, we're an hour in and we're still using bombs in Mini Moldorn Cave.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, throwing bombs here. Ugh.
Yeah, which is generally how it starts in open mode. Oftentimes. Not being able to use those bombs wisely. Nitori's gonna have to bail and come back later. And we got a cross-universe high five between Nitori and Wolfman. Both in the same place, but in different worlds, and Wolfman finding a bomb in the well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty happy about his Ice Rod. Even though probably not as happy as Hexmage was, since it was Hexmage's first, well, weapon, I guess.
True. Tairr getting a very friendly heart refill from the Flute Boy. Circle of Bushes holds. The hook shot. Oh, baby.
That is big. I think I called that at some point, but we found like 4 different items in the meantime.
It's been years since whatever you did.
It has been. It definitely feels like it.
All right, so huge sequence break for Tairr getting that hook shot. He's going to be thinking now about that hookshot cave from a long time ago. Hopefully he still considers going back to pod. I mean, when the game gives you a ton of pod keys, you're kind of in the mindset that you're like, I should go to pod. I have the lamp. I have keys. I could do stuff there. Of course, generally players don't like to go to pod without a hammer. Is this the pod key? Eastern.
Eastern. Right. Okay.
Well, that opens up the big chest. That's about it. Did Tairr already go in that entrance? I'm assuming he did.
I think he did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Tairr does have the location for the hookshot cave marked down. Obviously, he can get to it from both sides, even if he chooses to. I don't remember which entrance was more convenient for him, but I'm sure it's on his mind right now.
Tairr going to be going into the Swamp Palace entrance, which I believe is what... Actually, no, it was pod entrance that spat him out. Atmire. Uncle. Oh, see, look, there's an example. It's just one. That's it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess. I mean, Swamp doesn't really have any other entrances. I'm kind of surprised it links up to, well, I'm not sure. Is the Uncle area, like, separate from the one with the Uncle chest? Because shouldn't it technically also have a drop-down somewhere you can get to?
So that drop-down would have to be in the Dark World somewhere.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which we've already seen, because Tairr... I think Tairr dropped down in there. Or one of the players did.
Someone got a big key from Uncle.
From where? Yeah, it was the G-Tower big key.
Oh yeah, that was Tairr, I believe.
But where did he find that? The only Dark World drops I could think of are the ones in Skull Woods and, like, Pyramid.
Yeah, Oh man, Tairr, do you really want to go in here? Apparently you do.
And Nitori back at it again with a handful of bombs this time. Tairr's going to be making his way through T-Rock just to get that sweet, sweet A, Dark Palace key, and B, Big 20.
Gotta have that Big 20.
Gotta have it.
Alright, so... Sorry, go ahead.
You go.
I was just gonna say, do you think this will lead Nitori or Tairr back to pod once he gets that small key? Since he has a lot of them now.
Well... I don't know. Because you kind of want to wait and go back when you have the Dark Palace, like the big key, to make it even more efficient. Or when you go back with the bow to finish it. Tairr getting poked by the pokey, and then hit with a laser immediately, dropping him down to 1 heart. Wolfman also now with glove and hammer and Moon Pearl in the Dark World. Without Ganon hugs, but taking a hug from something else. And you remember before when Wolfman had 4 hearts? Well, Wolfman is now at 10?
Yeah, he's definitely caught up.
9? They're going to be using these iframes to take advantage of not getting hit by the bunny beam. Oh gosh, those guys do so much damage.
They're so annoying too.
Ooh, big 20. Oh, God.
Looks like Tairr's keeping at it. I mean, it's a good choice. And it looks like Nitori is thinking about bringing back the frog. I don't remember where we found the blacksmith. I just know that we've seen him.
Blacksmith was in Lost Woods.
Oh, okay.
Way in the back where the chess game is.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like that's where they're going to be taking him. So Nitori's got pretty decent advantage at this point amongst our 4 players. Still no hammer, of course, but making a lot of progress. A lot of quick progress.
Tairr now going for the bomb strength instead of the hammer for the pokey.
So yeah, we're still looking for a few of the other drop-down locations, including the one that's the vanilla Thieves Hideout, or Thieves Drop, or whatever. Lumberjack, I don't think we've seen that, but I don't remember what was that Lumberjack. So I don't think we've seen it at all.
No, I don't think we've seen it yet.
Yeah, let's hope that these guys give something worth, something valuable for the amount of work you've had to put in, taking them all the way up here. I'd say Silver Arrows is pretty good.
That's, yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take it. That's very nice. Thanks, guys.
Alright, there's the Dark Palace key finally for Tairr. So Tairr also gonna make his way all the way back to the chain chomp room. Nitori currently probably making some notes, maybe thinking about what's happening. Tairr using his iframes, having a little bit of an advantage here with the hookshot in hand over just having to use bombs. Gets his fine big 20. And is so happy about it. His stream freezes up a little. I'm sure he'll be back in a second. Nitori finally finds the sick kid, grabs a map of Thieves Town for his efforts. Not exactly worth it. Alright, we've got Tairr back, making his way back here through the cycle of Hyrule Castle. There's Swamp. We still haven't seen the dam, which is it works out slightly differently in Entrance Shuffle. Once you find it, no matter where it is, and once you drain it, it will stay drained, as opposed to magically undraining again if you screen transition, because otherwise you'd never be able to get in the swamp. And looks like Tairr is actually diving into Mire with hookshot and hammer in hand. Not the worst choice here. Still needs to be careful. Only in green mail. His hearts are, the total heart count is okay. His current heart status is a little bit worrisome.
Alrighty. What have I missed? Anything of value?
Nothing of value. You've missed Tairr starting his descent into Mire with the hookshot in hand.
And his stream dropping?
Yeah, that happened a little earlier too. He seems to be having a little internet trouble here.
Ah, gotcha. Well, we got Nitori in the second part of Skull Woods, finding half magic. That's huge.
That is absolutely nice.
Now he can use his ice rod. Now he can use his cape. No cape. He can light torches.
Yeah, now you can use this lamp a lot. And comes out of Ganon's tower. Interesting. Looks like they're still alive in Mire here.
Where are you going, Nitori? So Nitori still needs to find... Where is Tower of Hera? I don't even remember at this point.
I've completely forgotten, to be honest. Oh, the only one who can actually get that small key here, and it is... Dark Palace key, okay.
See? So many of those. We love them.
I think Tairr also just found the key. I saw like a split second of the text box.
Could be a key or map, or even a compass.
True.
I gotta say though, Madness, not really my cup of tea, but Entrance plus Key Sanity, I think is really fun.
Yeah, I like the idea. The Madness is a little bit too much, maybe. But the general idea of Entrance Randomizer and Key Sanity, I think it's like the most mix-up you can get, almost.
Sorry, what are you doing? It looks like he was using his mirror to like delete blocks, but then accidentally switch to his bombs and just drop 2 bombs.
Yeah,
it's product of the quick swap. You can accidentally quick swap.
That is the downside of quick swaps. Alright, it looks like Tairr just wanted to spare us endless wall moving animation.
What do we got? It's a small key for Hyrule Castle. That's useless. Since we've already seen both sides. Yeah, Hyrule Castle is completely done. We still have one more chest in Aga Tower, as far as I know, that we haven't seen yet, as well as Aga himself, which as soon as we find that Castle Tower key is going to be in play. It really depends on what is hiding in the Lumberjack drop, if anything of value at all. Yeah, the nice thing is Tairr's going to be able to do most of this dungeon, just not complete it, because he did get that big key earlier.
Well, looks like he does have it from somewhere.
Has what?
The big key?
No, I said he did get the big key from earlier.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. He did find the Cane of Berna here, and his first bottle.
Cane of Berna, very nice. Now he can go back and kill Blind.
That reminds me, did miss something. Nitori found the sick kid. I didn't catch where, but he found him and checked him, and it was nothing of importance at all.
Nice. Ooh, this is huge. Hexmage going to be getting their hammer here in about a couple seconds.
Oh man, how mad is he going to be that he was here like a million years ago and just immediately left?
Hour and 18 minutes basically getting your first sword. It's got to be rough. Your first and only sword. Oh, and Nitori trying to use the boots to do some fancy laser skips, but taking a death. No big deal. Nobody's perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect laser skip. And Tairr, hookshot cave, holding our container. What else we got? 50 rupees. What else we got? A single rupee. What else we got? A heart piece. Jeez,
oh man,
where is everything?
It got like continuously worse as you progressed through the chests.
You know, Herfy Durfy, when you have a hammer and a hookshot and access to G Tower, there's a few chests you can get along the way. Now, we might have to be forced to see a hilarious Ice Arbos fight, but we like hilarious fights, right?
Of course.
Especially like Cane of Berna. That's kind of useful against Ice Arbos.
I mean, doesn't the only way it gets better is a blue boomerang fight.
I don't know. I think red boomerang kind of... We got a little bit more range. And isn't the red boomerang a little bit faster? Or is it just... It lags more so it looks faster?
That's probably it.
Okay. Tairr going for another Ganon hug. So, where is that pod location? That's the question. I don't remember what cycle that was part of.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, he needs to get up to Tower of Hera, basically. Which, there's a couple of possibilities for him to get up there.
Did Hexmage find Spike Cave? No. Spike Cave's in the light world. Never mind. I don't think we've seen Spike Cave from anyone yet.
Didn't Tairr check it? No, he was in there, but he didn't have any...
No lift.
Oh, right, he didn't have a lift upgrade. That was the thing. So, taking quick inventory of what everyone has here, there's a lot of overlap, but there's also a lot of, like, strangely different things, I'd say. We got one person without a lamp, we've got someone with boots and titans, but no hammer. We've got Tairr with a hookshot that nobody else has yet.
Where was... Oh, wait. Wasn't the back of Escape in the Batcave entrance in Kakariko?
I think
that's
so.
where the lamp was. So Wolfman needs to go there. The other three, everyone other than Nitori needs to go back to Pod with a set amount of Dark Palace keys to get either a glove or both gloves. Tairr especially. Come on, Tairr. Go to Pod. Help me remember where Pod is, because I don't. We got a map check from Nitori, so Skullwoods is a crystal, Thievestown is a crystal, and that's the only new information we got. Skull and Thieves are both crystals.
Yep.
So I'd just like to point out that this game mode, despite it being extremely difficult, was put together and voted on by members of the community, supporters of the channel, which are people that are either subs to one of the speed gaming channels, have donated 250 bits, or at least, I think it also include 250 bits, and then also Patreon supporters. These are the people that are kind of helping pick which of these custom categories we see today. And I just want to point out that on that list, we actually had this one as well as another entrance, but instead it was Insanity, and I think it was Enemizer instead of Swordless.
Oh, jeez.
So, and I consider, like, we almost went with both, but I was like, well, let's just do one to start, because we're not ready for both of these, so.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah, if you guys are interested in, like, being a part of what kind of races we see, what kind of variants we see on stream here, easiest way to do it is become a supporter of the channel. Hop in that SG Discord, where we'll have Google Sheets up where people can vote. And yeah, every vote matters, guys. It's just like real life. Every vote matters. Alright, so we did see Nitori pick up the hook shot. Nitori's still missing. Our last player is still missing the hammer. Tairr finding the dam.
Oh man, that's
Kakariko
probably gonna
Burr.
send him straight to swamp, I'd assume.
Well, unfortunately, he doesn't have the flippers, so
Oh right.
he's safe from that option. Was that the one spot in Village of Outcasts that is blocked by the hammer pegs? Yes, it was. Okay, so hammer required to unlock swamp.
Mm-hmm.
That also, worth noting, will leave an item in the vanilla dam location to go check later. So.
Yeah, so Tairr really needs to get over to pod. And so does everyone else with the exception of Nitori, really.
Well, Nitori needs to go to Hera.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that these required items are stuck in these dungeons that are stuck in these wacky cycles that are hard to find or hard to remember. So it always helps to take notes.
Yeah, I think this is really almost impossible to play without notes. At least for me personally. I don't know anyone who can remember all this stuff.
No. Alright, Tairr gonna check one more chest. Wolfman probably looking over their notes. They're about to head through the sewer and find that powder. We actually haven't seen Batcave yet, so that might be in one of these Skullwoods drops. Because it's worth noting that all these Skullwoods drops are randomized amongst the other drops as well. The Hexmage finding Sahasra's hut and will be getting their boots of going fast. Will they talk to Sahasra as well? And Tairr about to do the very same.
Right behind.
Nitori picking up their Ganon's Tower Big Key. Man, out of, everything you can do in this game, and somehow these 4 players, 2 of them managed to, be in the same room pretty much at the exact same time.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's like when you're watching an attorney race and, they have ridiculous routing, and then it all comes down to, the last dungeon being together at the same time. It's always really neat. Speaking of which, I'm really excited we got top 4 in the main tournament and grand finals left of the secondary tournament. So these 2 tournaments are they're coming down to the wire. It's almost over.
Yeah, sadly it's wrapping up, but it's gonna be extremely exciting to see how they both conclude.
Tairr forgetting that he still does not have a glove. It is kind of unfortunate that both gloves are in the exact same dungeon. So if you just keep putting that off forever, it's going to make it even harder to remember to go back there. At this point, I want to see some G-Tower action now. With Hammer and Hookshot, please. I want to see it.
It's definitely about time, and I'm really kind of wondering, with the way these seeds play out, it's kind of hard to tell, but, they got to be kind of running out of location slowly but surely, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. It's going to come down, we're kind of at the point where we just need to start diving dungeons, but you got to dive the right dungeons, because a lot of times you don't have the keys that you need to actually complete them, so...
Yeah, I really believe Ganon's Tower will be a very good choice now.
Oh man, Hexmage getting absolutely bullied by the Murderdactyl, so... Not the same Murderdactyl, but we'll take it. We got 3 Murderdactyl deaths, and only a compass at the dam. 4 Swamp Palace, that's extremely convenient.
Alright, what else do we have here? Tairr apparently just taking a second to look over his notes. There's Spiral Cave.
Ooh, I don't think we've seen that one yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. And usually you'd be happy to have the boots in here. They're still very convenient, but without a sword, still gotta be careful not to bump into anything.
So we've seen Sick Kid, we've seen Bomb Hut, we've seen Witch's Hut, we've seen Blacksmiths.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all kind of the big, fancy fetch quest locations. Wolfman going for the Ganon hug trip back to the Dark World. Despite the fact that he does have the hammer and glove and Moon Pearl, this is just faster. It's just better routing.
Yeah, it's just extremely convenient. Just a heart piece on the floating island. I'm not sure if anyone's even been over there in the light world yet.
Oh, we will be able to see a catfish check from Wolfman coming up here. Tairr coming back. Probably taking a smoke break. No idea. And Hexmage picking up their hookshot.
Alright, so Hexmage now. Pretty decent here item-wise. It's really coming down to both of these gloves being pod.
Yeah, it really is. But we got Nitori, first player in the desert. Beginning of desert, only rupees in the first chest, but let's see what we've got on the torch. Oh, we already checked the torch. Who was it?
Oh, I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, that's huge. Flute in desert.
Is absolutely an amazing item to have in this mode.
Now, conveniently for him, he will be able to get to the mire area much more efficiently. Oftentimes in entrance, same with like overworld glitches, the flute doesn't really help that much for completing the game. It's more so just for efficient routing and moving quicker. So that'll be a nice find. And Tairr gonna be heading back into G Tower, so we get to finally see what is on the left side of G Tower for him.
Just a rupee on the torch. And yeah, as you were saying, the flute is it's basically your only reliable way to get around the overworld, instead of having to, like, remember weird entrance chains or go into strange caves.
Just a heart piece, another heart piece, a compass, and the flippers.
Alright, that's a good one.
So we have seen Swamp Palace. I believe it was in the entrance to Aga Tower. And with hammer, hookshot, and flippers now, Tairr will be able to do Swamp Palace. Because he was the only player to find the dam so far.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty good advantage. That might be our next stop. He does have the small key, but he doesn't have the big key, I don't think. So he won't be able to check the chest, but he will be able to complete it.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like we've seen the Swamp Palace big key somewhere, but I'm not sure if Tairr actually has it.
And without the Cane of Samaria or the Boomerang, having to rely on bomb strats to get through these rooms. Pretty rare sight to see.
Yeah, entrance randomizer can lead to some crazy things happening. I've seen fighter sword Vitreous fights in the entrance randomizer tournament.
Oh yeah, especially it was like fighter sword Vitreous, and then of course Vitreous holds the bow or something stupid like that.
Yeah, and the always love bow behind ice armors.
Oh gosh, it's too good. Looks like Wolfman might be our first player to actually finish up Thieves Town. As like beating blind. Spell a small key. Tower of Hera, big key. That's important.
Yeah, that's definitely a good find.
Now, there's still one more pendant dungeon that we aren't aware of yet. We know Desert is because of Tairr finishing it and getting his blue pendant. So we're still looking for that red pendant. Nitori activating their flute.
While you're talking about the pendant, also just a thing that I want to note here, at 1 hour 35 minutes in, we have one runner of our 4 having finished a dungeon. It was, unfortunately for him, a pendant dungeon. But, yeah, it's gonna be a while, guys.
We're making progress. You know, once you get all the stuff out of the way, then the rest of this is just smooth like butter. Kata Samaria.
Ooh.
So that will allow Tairr to finish Meyer, somehow. And, as well as, well, yeah, that doesn't really help too much in Turtle Rock yet. Yeah, here's Kane O'Brien. Works pretty effectively on the Ice Armos. And
Yeah, they all just kind of bunch up.
Yeah, he's going to drop another green potion and continue the... I've learned that Master Sword beams like work the best as well.
Yeah, those... For some reason, the Master Sword beams just wreck these guys immediately.
And Tairr finding a very easy way of taking out that last one. Somehow he just can't seem to squish your head. Harpies. Big key. Swamp Palace. There it is.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah.
Well, that's good for Tairr. All right, Hexmage going to be making their trip through G Tower as well.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Here's Meyer.
I just know that Tairr was thinking about Tile Room for a second there before he left.
Well, at least if he wants, he can easily go right back. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a struggle. Hammer Vitreous or Bomb Vitreous. Not that fun, but, you know, there's always that rare occurrence of Vitreous having the bow. And in Key Sanity, when generally every item in a dungeon is worth something, it's even more likely. Because, you know, in a normal seed, you know, sometimes, you know, the boss will just have a dungeon map or a compass or a useless small key. But Key Sanity, you know, every boss could have the next progression item if they wanted to.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to skip out on anything if you can help it.
Oh, Wolfman's going to be careful against his blind fight. Oh, sniped right in the face. Yeah, that Cane of Burn has proven to be very useful at this point. It's kind of surprising how much Tairr is able to accomplish without even a single glove, which is so unlike the vanilla game or like the normal randomizer, the non-entrance shuffle randomizer. Especially in entrance shuffle, a lot of times the type mitts aren't even required, because they only really get you to what? The Dark World in some occasions, the Ice Palace entrance. So if that ends up being something important, then of course they'll need it. And the Dark World on Death Mountain, but yeah, has that Titan Mitts actually led to anything extremely valuable yet? Right now, it's just been like a convenient routing option. All right, let's see these bomb strats from Tairr.
Yeah, as you were saying, not an easy fight here. He's got a couple of hearts. Mainly needs to watch out for that.
He did go into the fight with 22 bombs. He's probably going to use all of them. Except for that
I would
one.
not be surprised. Oh, it's just for us.
Hexmage picking up the Arcana Samaria. We got one eyeball down. 4 bombs to go. 3 left. 2 left. Can he use can he use Brine to finish them off?
I think for the small eyes, maybe even for the big eye, it's just going to take forever. I don't think his magic will be nearly enough, but it might be safer to start out with.
I would be doing that to finish off these eyeballs. Oh, he does have a red potion. Good, because those things do a lot of damage with only green mail.
Ooh.
For instance. Oh, one more. Wow,
There we
taking the
go.
hit just to secure that kill. Nice.
Okay, here comes the big eye. It's, if you can catch it in a good pattern, it's not too bad, but sometimes it bounces weirdly. Ooh.
Yeah, you gotta be scary, because if your hammer misses, then all of a sudden he's, like, right in your face. Because the hammer is very laggy. Or it just it's a long animation compared to, like, a sword slash. Ooh.
Ooh.
Come on, Tairr, you can do this, dude. I believe in you. Yes!
There we go,
Oh,
very
right.
nice.
I mean, us as commentators, and I'm sure viewers, we want to see these players succeed, so... Because watching someone die over and over at a boss, that's not fun to watch. Unless it was in a hilarious manner.
Yeah, I mean, if funny stuff happens, okay, but you still don't want to see it over and over, right? One time,
Right.
funny death, alright. Second time, you gotta make it.
And that's also nice because that means Tairr is completely done with Misery Mire. They can go do other things. So we need Tairr to find Pod. Please! Find Pod. I don't remember where it is, so you gotta find it for us.
Yeah, come on, Tairr, do your job.
And I didn't see it on Hexmage's side. Did they bail out of the Ice Armos fight? Because they didn't really have an easy means of take him out, like only having Hammer.
Mm-hmm. I think they might have. I don't think they even went down, maybe.
So yeah, at this point, Tairr, our only player of the 4 to have completed 2 dungeons. And we got 1 crystal. We're in there.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Mimic Cave. Have we seen this yet?
No, I don't think we have. Okay.
That's good. Just a blue boomerang. Nitori, purple chest in hand. We'll see what this one leads to. Yeah, not really convenient, though I feel like it'd be easier at this point just to mirror and flute as opposed to walking back.
Yeah, since you can't really go and check anything that you either haven't checked yet because it'll just spit you out somewhere completely differently, you're probably faster if you just mirror and flute over.
And without the book to check bombos, especially.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a big 5. Gross.
That's no good. Tairr making his way back up Death Mountain, picking up his bombos. Okay, that's all we wanted. Now Tairr's gonna be picking up his ice rod, right? That was in here?
No, Ice Rod was in bottom of the well.
Oh, right, bottom
Which
of the well.
was located in the graveyard, and Tairr doesn't have the... Oh, so Tairr does need the glove to get that Ice Rod, which we know is required. And we got Wolfman finally picking up their lamp an hour and 45 minutes in. Oh, and Tairr doesn't have a bomb, so we can't check that last item. Tairr working on his bonk count. I believe this was something important, wasn't it?
It was a pod small key.
That might take him to pod.
Hopefully, he has like 4 keys now or something.
He's got plenty. Speaking of pod, Nitori is back in Palace of Darkness. Gonna be checking a few more spots, and I really wish I was paying attention to see where they went to go into pod.
I think it's also really funny that the only person with both glove upgrades out of pod is now back in pod, while the other people are just refusing to go to that dungeon.
Maybe it's just in a really obscure place and really hard to find. I don't think we have the pod big key yet, still.
No, I think we're still looking for that. The hexmage has taken a very unfortunate and painful death here to Vizrobe in the torch room.
Yeah, I think that's their second or third death in here. Could be pretty rough. We got another small key for Ice Palace. Where is that fire rod? That's the real question.
Finding all those small keys for the green pendant dungeon's gotta feel bad.
Yeah, because you know you don't want to go there. I see Hexmage using the hammer. To be honest, Kena Samaria would be a much better option clearing out these Wizrobe room.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, and Tairr going back into Turtle Rock, it looks like. Now that he has the Cane of Samaria, he can enter the front. Still no fire rod, so only one chest to check, really.
Oh, man. I don't know if we've seen this yet from any of the players, so...
I don't believe so.
And it's just a map.
Tower of Hera.
Well, that's information that we could use, probably.
It's a pendant.
So that is our last pendant, Tairr of Hera.
Well, that was good information, actually.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Is this going to be the swamp play right here? All right, we're in new territory. Turtle Rock. We got 2 players in Mire. I'm not sure what Wolfman is looking for currently. Tairr, the only one in a new area. Big key 4. Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock. Okay, that's a good one.
I'm feeling a fire rod in here. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, where else could it really be?
Well, here's the thing. If fire rod is in here, then Tairr just has to go to pod, get the glove, and then he can get the ice rod. And then that opens up Turtle Rock. And then Swamp plus Turtle Rock, that's the Pyramid Fairies. Crystals, which there's got to be some other cave we're still looking for, right?
I'm trying to think what could be at the Pyramid Fairy. I know that the Ganon hole must be the bad at this point, right? Because we still haven't seen that.
Have we seen the Lost Woods hideout? Have we seen that one? Or Lumberjack?
Yeah, that's true. We haven't seen those either. Not that I remember, anyway, which might not mean.
To be honest, I don't think we've seen that many drops or of the Skull Woods drop because it's that one really awkward one in the back section of Skull, and we still haven't come out the other side of Skull Woods yet. And there's the fire rod. There it is. All right, that's huge. That's really huge. Small key for Skull Woods, useless. Do we have the Skull Woods? Oh wait, we don't need a big key for Skull Woods to complete it, so Tairr can now finish Mothula off.
Yeah, he definitely can.
And he can now do Ice Palace if he really wants to, so... Yeah, no real easy way to hit the switch without going around. Don't flood the... Tairr. No, I saw it.
I'm sure he was just trolling us, but you know.
He probably was. Alright, Wolfman now gonna be getting there. I think it was a big key in here in the laser bridge. I don't remember which one it was though.
I want to say Skull Woods, but I'm probably wrong.
You might be right. Ooh, taking a death. Yeah, sometimes when you switch to the cape, gotta give it a second before it comes out. Before it starts working. Speaking of cape, we got a Hexmage over in the Spike Cave getting their big 20.
20
Gotta love
bucks.
that.
Alright, Tairr well on his way to pick up some more chests. I was going to say well on his way to pick up his next crystal, which he probably also is, but...
It was the Mystery Mire big key, so... Which... I think the big chest in Mystery Mire only had a bottle. But we will need that to get a crystal from Vitreous. Alright, what else have we got going on in Skull Woods? I'd like to see, like, a blue mail, please.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, the hearts have kind of gotten better. A lot better, really, but the mail upgrade...
Things still hurt a lot. Oh, there's the pod big key. Alright, Tairr, if you don't go to pod after this, I'm gonna be questioning your every move.
I'm really curious now, though. Where is that bow?
Yeah, that's true. Where could that bow be? Maybe it's on Trinex or something.
Yeah, I mean, because that's really what's holding Tairr back from pod, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And Nitori, hour and 52 minutes in, picking up their first sword. I mean, their hammer.
Yeah, their official weapon for the seed. Almost 2 hours in. Ugh.
Yeah. I gotta say, though, they've done extraordinarily well, despite the fact that they haven't had a real weapon for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Most they've had to work with was bombs for the most part, and then a hookshot eventually.
And it looks like Nitori is going to be going for Landmola, unfortunately getting nothing but a blue pendant.
Yeah, but, you know, you gotta try.
Yeah. And, you know, you just got a hammer. You want to test it out. Oh, we get to see some beautiful hammer strats for Argus. Should have made this a boss shuffle, too.
Oh, God.
Alright, we only got one more chest left to check, and then it's Argus himself, so... Will we get any sort of guidance, any sort of progression from this? Oh, just a heart piece. Alright, cool. So, this is good for Tairr, gonna be getting his second crystal coming up. This fight's a little obnoxious when you don't have a sword. Or when you only have a cruddy sword. We got Hexmage hitting up Hype Cave, which I think had one of the big keys.
Yeah, I think it was a Skull Woods, maybe?
Oh, just a small key. 2 Skullwoods, so you were half right.
Yeah, we were both half right. It was a key of some sort, and it was 2 Skullwoods.
Yeah, unfortunately, Quick Swap doesn't really work that effectively against this boss. Just if Hammer was like right next to Hookshot on the menu, then it would. But in this case, no.
Yeah, you have to press R or L like 10 times to get there.
Ooh, Tori's got to be extra careful. Only at half a heart left. Still 2 Landmolls to go. Oh, it takes
Ouch.
Getting bopped on the face. That Landmola was going 90 when he should have been going 10. Alright, almost got all the puffs down.
Almost.
2 more to go. That's it. That's all of them. Fire Rod strats. Finish them off.
Very
4
nice.
fire rod shots. What do we get? The red boomerang.
Oh man.
We got them both.
All right, so Swamp had the pod big key and the fire rod. So, I mean, with how many item locations there are, you would expect more, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah. Honestly, to see a lot of the items and keys or required stuff has been relatively spread out amongst all the dungeons, so it makes for obviously a more spread out, more lengthy seed, but definitely makes for a very interesting run. And ooh,
Look at this.
I didn't realize that there was a small key on Bumper Cave.
Oh, I didn't realize it either. I just saw that with the Tairr's menu open so long. He now has the pod big key and 6 small keys. If you're not going to pod now, Tairr, I don't.
Yeah, he's only checked the first chest in pod and then Vale, and that was like very early on. I am curious why Hexmage decided to not check Bumper Cave. Hopefully they go back. I want to know what that small key is. And they have cape and hookshot. Not that hookshot's required, but sometimes players...
Yeah, but you can't really get up there, remember?
Oh, wait, why not? Oh, because it's... Never
The
mind.
entrance shuffle?
It's an entrance I was... Just do overworld glitches. Just clip into there. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I mean, just clip up there. Who cares? At this point...
You know, we're almost 2 hours in. I'm at that point where I'm going to start just forgetting what year it is, what game we're playing. I'm starting to... No, I'm kidding. I just need to get more... I just need to drink more coffee.
Also, just to give you guys an update here, so far nobody has done it yet. So we don't have like super slow racers here or anything. It's just the nature of this weird, crazy combination that it's gonna be taking a lot longer.
I anticipate... Oh, there's our blue mail in the big chest of Tower of Hera. Perfect. I anticipate our first dot done is going to probably be in another hour.
It's definitely gonna take another while. I'd be very surprised to see anything below 2:30-ish. Alright, so Tairr picks up his blue mail. I find it kind of surprising that he did decide to do this, seeing how it is our last pendant, but...
Oh man, only 50 rupees for the reward. But yeah, that is true. He can do all of Ice Palace if he really wants to. And check the pedestal.
He could.
But let's talk about required items. We're still looking for the bow. So bow could be on pedestal.
I think the bow is probably the most significant item that we're still looking for at this point. Of course, you know, the tablets could be a thing or something where you need the book, but really the bow is the one that really sticks out to me. Oh, Tairr.
He's doing it! Okay,
He's
that's
finally
where
doing it.
Pod was. Oh my gosh. Tairr, you madman. Alright, we're finally gonna get our first glove for Tairr.
I hope he just goes as far as he can and doesn't just, you know, immediately go, oh, I got a glove, I better leave.
Oh, please, he won't. There's no way. He has so many keys.
I think he has all the keys, isn't there?
Yeah,
isn't 6
there's
the
only 6
maximum
keys,
amount?
so...
Yeah.
Mhm. There's Ice Palace, big key. Oh man, Wolfman taking a death in Spiral Cave. That's an unfortunate scenario. Also unfortunate that he doesn't have the hookshot, which makes that cave a little bit easier when you don't have a sword.
Yeah, hammering those jellies so awful.
And Tairr, almost 2 hours in, getting his first glove. And just a little over 2 hours, we'll be getting his second glove. Oh, but we're gonna see a hammer jump first. So yeah, Oftentimes, you know, players that run entrance shuffle are pretty well versed with the hammer jump and other bomb jumps in like Ice Palace. So you don't always need all of the required keys to finish this dungeon if you know the bomb jumps. Keyword if.
Yeah, it's not a given that everyone knows everything.
And apparently on Wolfman's side, picking up the flute from Desert, activating it now. Once again, flute is nice, but not required.
All the Ice Palace keys in here. Forgot about that.
No, Hexmage, go back into pod. There's some mitts in there. Looks like Hexmage is going to finish out. I didn't realize that Pod and Hera were both in the same cycle.
Yeah, I didn't either until just now.
So if you think about it, well, I believe when Tairr was first in Pod, he didn't have any small keys for it, which is why he didn't get those gloves immediately. Da 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 da.
Tairr.
That's funny. All right, one more chest left to check for Tairr, and then once he goes to the graveyard, he'll get his ice rod, and then he knows he can go back to T-Rock and finish that up. Hexmage picking up their blue mail right there. They were having a little bit of trouble. I guess they were like 1 pixel away.
Yeah, just a little bit. Alright, that's the back half of Ganon for Tairr there. I don't think... we must have seen that before, right?
Yeah, we've seen it a few.
Guess we never had the sound to go with it, that's why it startled me.
Yeah, it's very... Well, it's the only time you hear that music. It's either that or in the room right outside Aga 1. Alright, Hexmage taking down Moldorm. This is going to be their first dungeon, and it's going to also be a pendant.
This seed really, I mean, ignoring the crazy stuff that we've had them do here from all the modes, it's not been too kind to them.
It has not, no, not really. I mean, imagine how different this would be if it wasn't Key Sanity, though. I think Key Sanity definitely takes the normal length and it could easily add an hour to a seed.
Oh yeah, totally. Adding Key Sanity on top of everything else that we have here is ugh, jeez.
So, this is news to me. Apparently, if you cape and just hold onto the wall, you don't spend magic, and the wall masters can't get you.
That's interesting.
I literally just learned this yesterday when someone was doing it during a daily race, and someone else was doing it last night during a race. I was like, that's new. I like it.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, here we go. Talaroom, what you got for us? Big 20, of course.
Seems about right.
What else would it be?
Alright, well, we got 4 more chests coming up, as well as 1 more small key. He doesn't have the bow, but if he finds the bow in here, he'll be able to clear the rest of G-Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know it'd be funny if Bo was at Blind the whole time?
Oh, man.
Actually killed Blind, because Blind's been kind of a pain in the butt. Oh, there's the other key for Castle Tower.
Oh, man. Imagine if the bow was in there.
It's very possible.
That would be so crazy. To be fair, IP is also a very strong contender with all the small keys and the big key that they have.
So yeah, nothing too much of value from right side G Tower. That's, you got to think that the second chest in Aga Tower has to be something. Why else would they give you that key, right? Right? Maybe.
Well, I mean, we'll see if Tairr goes for it.
We like to think that the game is kind of leading you somewhere. It's not just throwing random items at you.
Yeah, we do like to think that.
Hexmage working towards that big 20. Chain Chomp's giving him the business.
The only person in here with the blue mail.
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
Aw. It was unfortunate. Use of a blue mail, or a blue bottle.
Yeah, that's not a good deal. He can't go all the way back here, though, and apparently he wants to.
The only downside of this is you're using up a lot of small keys. Because the nice thing about coming up the backside of Chain Chomp is that you don't spend a small key going through that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can skip this whole room that he's in right now. Because all it does is you spend 2 small keys, get 1 back. So it's still a net loss.
Everything okay over there? Alright, let's see. We've got Nitori fighting blind. I think this is the 3rd person that we're seeing an attempt at this. Nobody has actually killed blind.
No, not yet. Maybe this will be the one. Good use of that red potion. We're gonna see what's in the pet cave for Tairr.
Yeah, kind of another autopilot moving away, right? If you have the frog and Tau. Oh man, it's just a shop. Good usage though, Tairr deciding to refill his red goo that he used earlier. It's always good to have one of those.
Oh no, Nitori died. I think that was a double KO. Because that was the last hit on blind. That's unfortunate. So blind lives to see another day. Our
Man,
3rd
really?
player to die to blind. So we've had multiple Ganon deaths, multiple Murderdactyl deaths, multiple blind deaths. Tairr using his knowledge of the vanilla game to get some green goo out of a tree and going to be turned into blacksmith. Now, this is going to lead him to his silver arrows, which, of course, is required in Swordless, mind you. So this is a very big deal. You can hit Ganon with the sword, or with the hammer, similar to how you can hit him with a sword to do Silverless, but the window to do it is extremely small and never required and never suggested, so...
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's currently considered TAS only. I mean, it's doable by a normal human, so it's not impossible. It's just, as you say, so incredibly small.
I think I've got the timing and setup down that I could do it, but not consistently and not in a timely manner. I'd probably save more time searching for the silver arrows after he tells you where they are. And the nice thing about Entrance Shuffle is Ganon generally tells you very specifically where they are. So he'll be like, did you find the silvers at the blacksmiths?
Yeah, he's much more verbose about it, I guess. And it looks like Hexmage might be the first actual blind kill here with the Cane of Samaria strats. There we go.
There it is. What do we get? Just a big 20.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's fine. Hexmage, our 2nd player on the restream to get a crystal, their first crystal. So across the board, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 completed dungeons in total from all 4 players, or 5. Forgot about Swamp Pals. So, and right now, Tairr. Oh, wow,
where's the bat?
It was in Lost Woods, or Skull Woods. big 300. So Houlihan is dead, basically, right?
Yes, 2 hours and 11 minutes, and Houlihan is officially dead.
All right, good to know. Oh, Hexmage does not realize that you can kill that little spark dude with the hammer. But they will be going into Swamp Palace and getting their fire rod. So this actually does give them a bit of an advantage over Tairr. Tairr just has that very, very difficult Vitreous kill already in the books, not having to worry about that. We are going to get to see some Skull Woods action. Now, the question is, where was that half magic?
It was in the... Wasn't it in the back chest where you have to pull the statue? Unless you
in
have to
Skull
find it
Woods?
somewhere, yeah. Wait, no, it wasn't in Skull Woods. It wasn't like a single... excuse me, in a single chest location, I believe.
Alright, let's see this Mothula fight. Opting to use hammer strats. Getting good patterns from Mothula, making it easy. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Only a compass. But still, this is another crystal. Wow, that's a perfect Mothula fight when you only have the hammer. I mean, he could have used the fire rod, but hammer does tempered sword damage, so... And tempered sword damage does a lot of damage to Mothula. So,
yeah,
GG to Tairr.
Doesn't get much better than that. That was really beautifully done, and oh man, spits him out at the wrong exit of Bumper Cave. I'm sure he would definitely like that small key up there.
Oh, I like this. How convenient.
Yep, why not?
Now he can continue the cycle, and now that he has a glove, he can go check Checkerboard Cave, which I don't recall being anything of use, but we'll see. Hexmage about to pick up their Fire Rod, and Wolfman finding the dam.
Yeah, gonna be happy about that. Still needs to find his flippers to really get anywhere in Swamp.
Oh, it was Agnes Cave. Wonderful. Now, of course, we have more than just these 4 featured runners in this race. So we'll be keeping an eye out on the IRC for other players to finish. And, you know, there are a lot of players that have played Madness a bit, or have played plenty of Entrance Shuffle. We also have people that this is their first ever Entrance Shuffle, so we got a good smattering of skill levels and experience levels going on in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. These races are open to everybody who feels like they want to join up. I don't know what kind of insane person you have to be to want to play this game mode, but here we are with almost 20 people.
It's kind of the great thing about these daily races is I feel like it's brought out a lot of new players. There was one player that I saw the other day who their second ever SRL race was one of the dailies. Of course, they did get technically not last because everyone else before them or after them had forfeited. But at the same time, it's like we all had to start somewhere. And I remember my first 5 races, I got technically not last because of the people forfeited. And I'm like, I'll take it. But then that first time I got 3rd place, I jumped out of my chair. I was so excited. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun playing in these races and watching the community grow and seeing it even growing more and more. So shout outs to everyone in the community. Shout outs to Speed Gaming for putting on these daily races and helping the community grow even further. And shout outs to that flute in Desert.
Yeah, I really think these races are amazing, as you were saying, and I encourage everyone who has any interest in Randomizer, even if you've never played Link to the Past before, I encourage everyone to join and race on SRL. It might seem a little daunting at first, and racing against other people always puts pressure on you, but it's one of the best experiences, and it's the best way to really learn, because you can watch other people that are better than you play the exact same seed and see where their decisions and their routing differed from yours. And that really teaches you the most in the beginning, I feel like.
I 100% agree. That's how I got better. It's just watching other people that were definitely better than me see how they handled that same seed. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. That's a lot smarter. Yes. Or, yes, I shouldn't have died to blind 3 times.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one to figure out by yourself, but I agree.
And I believe this might be the first time we've seen the entrance to T-Rock opened up. Maybe. All it did was lead to the left entrance of Impa's house. And that cycle just brought him back over here, so...
Oh, okay. A random sea house up here.
Alright, Hexmage is going to be making their way up to Argus to get their second crystal. Tairr now... I wonder what he's looking for. He's probably looking for that bow and he's looking for that ice rod.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is he's looking in Dark World locations when Bomb of the Well is just sitting in the graveyard. And, you know, this far in the seed, 2 hours and 16 minutes, you're only thinking about, you know, crazy stuff. And especially with the late glove, you already wrote off all the glove locations, so it's easy to forget those. So hopefully he makes his way back there. He is now going to go pick up his half magic, though, which is going to be extremely helpful.
Alright, oh, and that's... Finally, we're seeing what kind of small key. It's a Turtle Rock small key. Do we even need that still? I think that was the last one, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's of any use. That's kind of the nice part about entrances, because of the multiple ways to get to Skull or T-Rock. You can skip that chain chomp section or the pokey key and all that stuff. So Now, I am still curious though, because we haven't seen the right side of T-Rock, the fire rod section. Oh, and interesting, Skull Woods is just a single entrance that doesn't shuffle.
Yeah.
We did already see that. The other side was where he came... that was the T-Rock entrance. We are about to see what this final drop one is. I don't think we've seen this one yet. Well, now we know what Ganon's Tower pendant or crystal is.
Good to know.
That's frustrating. Ooh, Hexmage, gotta be careful. Just use the fire rod. They might not know that fire rod and hammer, or fire rod and ice rod both work on Argus. This is a little scary. Please don't get bopped. Oh.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Oh.
Ah, that's rough.
Oh man, and having to redo all those little puffs with no sword. Ugh, gross.
That's one of the very entertaining parts about Zelda and Randomizer as a whole is there are multiple ways to fight certain bosses. You can, you know, it's like, oh, let's see, should I use hammer or should I use bombs on Helmassar? You know, you can use fire rod, ice rod, silver arrows on Argus. And sometimes with Randomizer, you have to use different options. You know, we saw bomb strats on Vitreous.
Yeah, it really kind of depends where the progression leads you, especially in Entrance Randomizer. You can have the craziest stuff going on. Fighter sword, well, assuming you have swords. Fighter sword bosses that you would never normally want to fight with a fighter sword. Weird, low, hard green mail dips into late Dark World dungeons that kill you instantly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Alright, this is our first time seeing this area on Tairr's side. I don't know what other single locations we're still looking for, though. Well, there's one.
There's one.
There's the book!
This could be huge.
This could be huge. That could lead to anything. And, you know, both the tablets are just overworld, so you don't have to, like, go through a... Tairr. Alright, Tairr, you feeling lucky today?
Let's see. Oh.
Not lucky. Ooh.
Gonna pull on the guy a little bit.
Oh yeah, that opens up the tablets, and then also opens up a check of the pedestal.
Tairr does already have 2 of the pendants.
Ice Rock Cave, just some bombs. So yeah, let's talk about this. Tairr, probably with the largest lead amongst the players in crystals and items. The only thing he's really missing that we know of is the Ice Rod, which is located at the Graveyard Drop, which leads to Bomb in the Well. As for dungeons he could do, he can finish T-Rock once he gets that Ice Rod. He can...
He could do pretty much all of Ice Palace and get whatever the green pendant is holding.
And he can finish Thieves. So... yeah, no one really wants to do Pendant Ice Palace. But if Sahasrah's holding that bow, it'd be pretty hilarious.
Oh man, that will be something. Also just now realizing that Tairr, the only one of our 4 runners here, having all 4 bottles.
Gotta say, it's pretty hype.
It's pretty good, right?
Wolfman going for another Ganon hug. Tairr gonna be getting his heart piece from here, and Hexmage 2 puffs away. Taking down stage 1 of Argus. Let's see how this goes again. Hopefully, they don't just stick to Hammer again. There we go, switching to Fire Rod.
Very nice.
4 Fire Rod shots to take him out. Kind of annoying. He does have some invincibility frames when he first lands. Having to use that green potion to get their magic back up. Yeah, this is just one of those things that you learn either from watching or from experience. Like, I learned it from watching because you always see like that really beautiful quick kill on the phase 2 of Argus. You know, it's 2 Fire Rods and a spin, usually, of a sword. Of course, that's not an example you can use in this one, but knowing that you can get that double on him with the Fire Rod, or I think in a run earlier, I got a triple on him with the Ice Rod. I hit him 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's a thing, okay. I wonder if it's the same with like Aga 2, where one of them just doesn't count. Oh, we have not actually... I don't think we've seen the Ice Palace entrance.
No, I think we've had people... Oh, you mean this Ice Palace entrance?
Oh, it's Spiral Cave. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this just led to a rupee.
Yeah, I think Tairr is looking at an Ice Palace here, really. Unless he magically decides to go back for that Graveyard Drop to pick up his Ice Rod, that might lead him back to Turtle Rock, where we currently see Hexmage making his way over to Trinex.
Here we go, our first Trinex.
Hammer Trinex. Well, not a whole lot of fun, but, you know, it's not like these guys have a whole lot of choice.
Yeah, Hammer Trinex is fun. I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's hilarious. I need to learn, because I've seen players bring out the backdoor hammer strats on him. I'm like, how do you do that? I want to do that. Let me try that.
And we have an interesting hammer ice armos here on Nitori's side. Also putting Cane to some good use. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the Cane of Burna and really nothing else they could use.
Yeah, this is not a fun fight. Alright, let's see these hammer strats. The problem is using that green potion against Argus. He's got to be extremely careful.
Oh yeah, he does. I think he might already be too low now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With only getting 1 hit in here. He might have barely enough to kill... Oh, never mind. Does he have another potion?
Oh, he's got a green.
Still gotta be careful though.
Yeah, I don't know. Once he gets going, he moves so quick. It's really easy to miss those shots.
Tairr
And he
just
can't
picked
really.
up... Sorry, I was just gonna mention Tairr just picked up his mushroom from the tablet up here.
Oh wow, from Ether Tablet.
Mm-hmm.
A fetch quest leading to a fetch quest. Yeah, this fight is not going well. This Trinex fight is not going well.
No, that's not looking good.
I'm surprised. I feel like he's hit him more than 5 times.
I'm a little curious about this.
We got Nitori still going for the Ice Armos kill. Doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, still alive and everything. That's the most important, but probably the longest Ice Armos fight I've seen yet. Not that I blame Nitori at all. It's just awful equipment.
Yeah, if only he had a boomerang. Alright, nothing from the right side of T-Rock. At least nothing worth noting. So Tairr's next play, he needs to go to the graveyard.
He absolutely does.
He needs to go to the graveyard. He needs to finish off Thieves Town. But at this point, unless it's Bombo's Tablet or Mushroom or Trinex, it's got to be Ice Palace.
Yeah, there's really no other way. They cleared out all of Eastern Palace, save for Armos. Wolfman finally picking up his hookshot here. Not very happy about it at all.
Seems a little upset. I don't blame him.
And Hexmage is making the Ice Palace play here, so we'll get to see what this has to offer.
Tairr picking up his big 20. Nitori going to be going back and checking right side now that he doesn't have a fire rod. So is it worth going just for that key or for that tile room? Looks like it. You got to do it eventually. Might as well do it now.
Oh, and there's the bow. Hexmage picking up the bow.
First chest of Ice Palace? Dude, you know how as soon as they get the fire rod, they could have gotten that, so... Tairr getting rid of his shield, because he's not a fan of shield.
Yes. Don't have a sword, can't have that shield.
I love it when he does that. I don't know. It's just so silly.
Just a Tairr thing.
So at this point, we're in commentator's go mode. We know where everything is. Assuming they have all the keys that they still need. We have Pod Big Key, we have Eastern Palace Big Key. Thieves Town is done. Yeah, we know where Ganon is, so we're good to go.
Yeah, Tairr just needs to get to their graveyard spot, really, and, well, not even that necessarily. He kind of just needs to go to the graveyard spot or to Ice Palace.
So, unfortunately for Hexmage, because they're still missing that mitts, it looks like they're going to go ahead and full clear Ice Palace. Yeah,
that is a little bit unfortunate. I can't really blame them. Who really thinks of both gloves being in pot on top of everything else that's going on in the seed, but... So this also means our pedestal dream is absolutely dead, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain it is 100% dead. Tairr about to find the Witch's Hut, I think. Oh, no, Witch's Hut is the vanilla location.
Yeah.
Which, he already knows that. And with Flute in hand, he could turn in the mushroom, but at this point, we know that the mushroom leads to nothing, so... That book that he found is a bit of a red herring.
Yeah, the tablets didn't really have anything. We know that pedestal can't really have anything, so that book, definitely not needed.
So yeah, for anyone just checking in, for our players to finish, I'm going to just talk about Tairr since he is the closest. He needs to go to the graveyard to get the Ice Rod. Graveyard leads to Bomb of the Well. And then he needs to go to Ice Palace, which leads to the bow in the first chest, and that'll be his go mode.
He's definitely not too far off. The problem is, when will he finally check that graveyard?
Mm-hmm. And like I said earlier, it's one of those easy things to forget. When, you know, you have all the Dark World to look for, you just gotta hope that these players are using some sort of checklist, but let's see where he goes to next. He might be going... Oh, okay, he's going down. Darn, thought he was gonna go up. I think he's doing purple chest.
Yeah. Oh, and it looks like we've got our first dot done on the IRC. Act the Boker finishing in first place here with a time of 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 26 seconds.
Wow. GG. You were right. No one got under 2:30.
Barely, but called it.
Act the Boker. What a legend.
What a legend indeed.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Tairr that all these extra things he's doing were easily avoidable. But that's just a product of the red herring that sometimes happen with certain items.
Mm-hmm.
This is good, though. He's heading in the right direction. He might be getting an ice rod soon.
Looks like he's definitely going there. Oh,
he got a shield.
Tairr.
That's funny.
It's even bigger than the one he had before. Alright, here we go.
I'm a little worried, though. We are somewhat running out of time. So... Tairr's gotta hurry up! Somebody's gotta hurry up.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do have other things scheduled here on Speed Gaming, so...
But Tairr now picking up his ice rod, probably thinking Trinex. Yeah, it's just like in a normal randomizer. If you have access to pendant dungeons, it's often worth going in there anyway and checking it out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's so convenient too. He'd only have to check the very first chest and then he could immediately leave again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unfortunate for Hexmage because of the order that he's doing these in. So he's doing a little bit more, but we will get to see a Cold Stare fight, which is always nice.
Yeah, I like it. Unfortunately, no chance of using bombos here. And no half magic, which means he's gonna have to hammer those cotton candies, which is not fun.
Yeah, and only blue mail. This is gonna be tough. But we are gonna see the Trinex fight from Tairr. And I wonder if he'll go ahead and do that, finish off blind, and then hopefully dive into Ice Palace, because he doesn't really have any other options at this point.
No, I think at this point he really has to go into Ice Palace because he's checked pretty much everything there is.
Well, hopefully for Hexmage, despite taking a death here, this might actually save him time, because there's no way he's going back in there for that green pendant.
Yeah, he is
and whatever
leaving.
item he has. But yeah, Tairr still has to finish Trinex, finish blind, go into Ice Palace to get the bow, finish Eastern, finish Pod, and still has to finish G-Tower. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to finish that within 13 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds a little optimistic. We do, however, have our second place finisher in Haikyuu type finishing with a time of 2 hours 34 and 47, so pretty much exactly 4 minutes behind Act the Boker in first place.
But in the meantime, I guess we'll just keep going. At least we managed to find, you know, go mode, essentially.
Yeah.
No mode, commentators go mode. but we'll keep going until we get the word. But good try next fight from Tairr. Hammer Strat's taking him down. Rewarded with just some bombs.
Oh man, and Nitori was trying for the bomb jump here in the back of Skullwood, but got grabbed by a Wallmaster.
Oh wow, actually trying to go for the Fire Rodless Skullwoods.
Yeah, quite the interesting decision here.
All right, now where was Ice Palace? That's the real question.
That is the real question. I hope it's wherever Tairr is heading right now.
Looks like he's heading to the Dark World. Thieves' hideout in the Lost Woods.
Oh boy. That's definitely not where Tairr is going, I'd say.
Well, who knows? Maybe it's part of the cycle. Maybe we'll find it eventually.
Yeah, maybe he has a good setup for it or something. Oh.
Looks like Nitori is going to be going back. Of course. Looks like Nitori is going to be going back to take on Blind again. Kato Samari in hand. Hopefully we'll have a better shot this time.
Oh, and Tairr is actually bombing open the pyramid here. It's Bomb Shop is a pretty good location, I'd say. Not too far off from where it usually is.
Well, at least, despite this being not the right choice, it is nice being able to see all these other options.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious. I mean, what really could there be to find anymore? But we're still missing one medallion, a red mail.
We're still missing probably some fairy fountains and some other shops as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a fortune teller in here.
Oh, the tavern.
Close enough.
Oh. What a place.
These guys, they're probably like, oh man, thanks Link for finally letting us out. We've been stuck in here for years.
And then Tairr hard resets, so it resets the bomb wall.
Aww.
Based on Hexmage's routing, I would assume that they picked up the Titan Mitts from downstairs.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, it looks like Tairr's going for Ice Palace.
Alright, very nice.
Might actually hit go mode.
Might hit the go mode before we unfortunately have to switch off.
I'll wait till we get the actual word. But yeah, this is nice. First chest of Ice Palace has the bow. Tairr has the silvers, and then all he has to do is just go into Tairr and finish the rest of the bosses off.
Tairr also at 19 hearts now, and I'm kind of curious how many heart pieces he already has towards the 20th.
I want to know. Oh, and we will get to see these other spots in Pod that are locked behind the bow. Maybe we'll find that red mail, or that Quake medallion. Yeah, at this point, we still don't have any other finishes. We do have a few forfeits, but I don't blame him at all. Well, there is the third shield in the right section, the bowlock section of Palace of Darkness. Only Hexmage's second shield. And Wolfman using that beautiful blue boomerang strats on Ice Armos.
Meanwhile, we've got go mode for Tairr, who fluted over to, I think where he was, no, whatever.
And we do have a third place finisher in the name of Jay Coper, third place. Our 2 hours and 40 minutes and 2 seconds. So roughly 10 minutes behind our first place and 6 minutes behind our second place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your top 3, guys. That's your podium right there.
Yeah, Tairr's still in very good standings here in the running for top 5 still, I'd say. Depending on when he actually gets back to wherever he's currently trying to go.
I'd say he still has... Well, here's Eastern. I'd say he still has another, 15 minutes. Because he still has to finish all these bosses off.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, he doesn't have to do anything else but kill the bosses, but he does have all of the gauntlet left to do as well.
Yeah, there's definitely quite a bit of time left for Tairr. He is in go mode, but there's a lot left to do.
Yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed the debut of Entrance Shuffle Madness on the Speed Gaming Daily Races series. So we gotta do Insanity next, right? Maybe we'll do that next week?
Sure, I mean, why not? We're already diving in pretty deep, might as well get it all the way.
And Wolfman's finally working on that last Ice Armos. I don't remember. I think we found a big key back here. But I don't quite remember. Hexmage goes for some very nice hammer hits on the second phase of Helmassar King. Tairr Silver Arrows just making quick work of Armos.
Yeah, he must have heard us.
Should use the boomerang. Wow, can we get a round of applause for Wolfman? That is an awful fight to do with just the boomerang. Jeez.
1 damage with each boomerang hit.
And that was just to get the Swamp Palace Big Key, which isn't even required. I don't think it was required. I don't remember what was in the Swamp Palace Big Chest, but I don't think it was anything worth... I don't think it was anything of value. Alright, so assuming Tairr's route, he'll be able to mirror up here, do Thieves Town. And then... Yeah, just gotta go back up and finish up Pod.
Yep.
And then G-Tower.
And then G-Tower.
Quite a bit left still, but...
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We are currently... Yeah, they definitely do. We currently are still in the top 3s, so no 4th place finisher yet.
Yeah, unlike the open mode or standard mode, or even the occasional key sanity, there's going to be a pretty big difference between each of the players finishing. You know, usually you get like 5 people that all finish within a 1 minute difference.
Yeah.
But these entrance shuffles are extremely hard to route efficiently, so... Alright, here we go. Tairr about to get his revenge on Blind. Hexmage about to get his revenge on Trinex. Wolfman gonna... I think this is their first time in Mire, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Either that, or they just got the big key, so... Could be getting their bottle. Oh, but yeah, the blue cane is over here on the left side as well. Gonna have to hit that switch first. All right, Hexmage already having a little bit better of a easier time against Trinex, taking out the Firehead already. Just got to take on the blue guy.
Yeah, looking much better than before, as well as Tairr's blind fight here, finally getting him down.
And we barely picked up the red mail. I missed where it was for Hexmage.
Oh, yeah. Must have been in one of those pot chests, right?
I know one of them was the shield, but it could have been the other one, yeah. Oh, maybe it was off of Helmasaur.
Oh, right, that could be.
No, he had it before that.
Oh, okay.
It was the other chest, so. Shield and mail. Alright, phase 2 of Trinex 4, the Hexmage. Wolfman making their way through Mire, and not exactly sure what Nitori's up to as of right now.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure myself. Tairr is making his way to Helmasaur, so his last crystal is almost in his grasp. Probably not going to be checking pretty much anything here.
Yeah, he's going to be missing out on his third shield, which I'm sure he's thankful for, because that means he doesn't have to give it away to another picket.
Mm-hmm.
So, to our 3 finishers who are in the chat, did you guys have fun? Did you guys like the madness? Did you like the madness plus key sanity? Would you do it again? Would you do an insanity version of this? I think for the insanity one, we'll probably turn off Swordless. I feel like Swordless definitely makes it just a little bit too much of a challenge.
Yeah, but we'll add Randomizer instead.
Exactly.
Alright, looks like Wolfman is making his way through Mire. Nitori not quite sure where to go. The Hexmage is... where is he going? Back up to Death Mountain.
So the problem is, I don't remember which runners, if Wolfman or Nitori have found the dam yet. Because that's very significant. Because dam leads to swamp, swamp leads to fire rod, and fire rod leads to the bow.
Yeah, very good point. Oh man, Tairr.
Tairr has a good gauntlet. We could definitely see a sub 3 from him. Easily. Especially the fact that he already has the silvers, which are required. Alright, we're just a G-Tower gauntlet away. Come on, Tairr, you can do it! I believe in you!
Come on, Tairr.
It would be a shame if we didn't get to see any players finish, but at the same time, this is a ridiculous mode.
Yeah, I mean, we're this close. Oh, we do have a 4th place finisher, though, with Korak coming in at 2 hours 49 and 2 seconds, so exactly 9 minutes after Jay Coper.
Nice. Yeah, I'm recognizing all 4 of the people that have finished are generally the people that I associate Entrance Shuffle with, are well-versed in Entrance Shuffle of most of the different varieties, so GG's to them. Finishing with very, very good times. Basically, anything under sub 3 for this game mode is good enough. Good enough.
Good enough. Yeah, just getting through this is good enough, I'd say.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Tairr, with 1 extra G-Tower Big Key, it'll be enough to get through the rest of the gauntlet and finish off the game. Could you imagine if G-Tower Small Key was your go mode item?
It can happen.
Which apparently was what happened to Jay Coper in this race, so... I will say, not having a sword makes that first Mimic Room a lot easier. Because a lot of times you'll accidentally clink off of the Mimic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Wolfman is going to be going for Vitreous. I hope they know what they're signing up for, because this is not an easy fight.
No, this is definitely not a fun fight.
We did see Tairr was the only person so far in this race to fight and defeat Vitreous on his first try. He went through 22 bombs and still didn't even kill all of the small eyeballs.
Yeah, and for Wolfman, we've only got 12 bombs and really not much else.
Oh yeah, you gotta wait for the little Samaria blast to hit the switch before you move, because as soon as it goes off screen, it doesn't work. It doesn't function anymore. Tairr making pretty quick work of this gauntlet, despite not having a sword.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to people running through this gauntlet pretty well versed and skilled, but Tairr showing us a whole different thing here. Without a sword, it's just not comparable, really.
He's doing a really good job making a lot of those silver arrows count. And it looks like he is stalling so that he can get all three of these guys to start up at once. Trying to get the lingering hitbox with the fire rod to try and get some double kills.
Yeah, very nicely done.
It makes sense if you're gonna go ahead and get the fairy from the bunny beam, you might as well just wait so that they all spawn at the same time.
Alright, thankfully these Wizrobe rooms still as efficient as ever with the Cane of Samaria. This room here, I like Tairr's usage of the Cane of Burna, because you're just used to dashing through all these guys with your sword, which, in swordless mode, kind of hard.
Did he do a cane dash, or did he just turn it on and ran through it?
I think he just turned it on. I'm not 100% sure.
The Burna dash is awesome.
I
It's
agree.
one of my favorites.
Oh, and unfortunately, it looks like one of our runners here, wolfman2000, deciding to forfeit just shortly before the 3-hour mark. Don't blame him at all.
No, not at all. Especially dropping into that Vitreous fight. That is one of the harder ones in Swordless in general. And it just was unfortunate that bow ended up is more than likely going to be the go mode item for most players in this race, just because of the nature of that Pennant Ice Palace not being an ideal location to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tairr is almost done. Now, once he finishes up Aga 2, he's got to head to east of the graveyard. The Fairy Fountain Fall, whatever, is where Ganon lies. Now, Hexmage is going to be moving into the Vitreous fight with the bow. Unfortunately, does not have the silvers yet. And it's 3 arrows per eyeball, so not even going to have enough to conveniently finish off this Vitreous fight. Generally, in that scenario, you want to use as many as you can to kill the eyeballs, and then at least save 8 arrows for the big guy.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why he's switching to bombs now. He just wants to save as many arrows as he can for the big guy. Probably not 100% sure how many you need. Alright, here goes the Aga 2 fight for Tairr. Gonna see some swagnet strats here.
Love it. Now, the bug net as well as the hammer both work on reflecting these beams. And yes, this is defeat Ganon, which requires an Agatu kill in order to unlock Ganon. Otherwise, he just laughs at you and calls you a dingus.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we saw a lot from these players is they're kind of going out of their comfort zone to do some stuff like fighting Vitreous without a bow, or you know, doing laser bridge without any safeties. Sometimes it pays off, but sometimes you end up spending a lot of extra time.
Ooh, and Hexmage really needs to be careful here. Oh, he still has blue goo left. Okay.
At this point, I would just switch back to the arrows and finish off the eyeballs. Since I can't imagine them having that much health left, and that looks like it was going to be what he's going to be doing. I wonder if Tairr's going to hop into the pyramid hole just so we can see what it is. Do it! I want to know! It's probably Lumberjack.
Yeah, what else could it be at this point? Yay!
And this is where the Master Sword was.
Oh man, wouldn't that be something?
Tairr. Oh!
Oh, yay!
Now we can do the basement. Yo, but kudos to the Hexmage finishing off Vitreous. This is not a fun fight.
Nope, very nicely done.
And my favorite part, Swordless Ganon. It's just it's a fun fight, in my opinion. If you like a good challenge, go for the Swordless, the hammer strats on Ganon.
It's definitely something else.
And if Tairr is successful in this first attempt, we could definitely see a sub 3 from him.
Yeah, he's nearing the 3-hour mark, but it's not impossible for him to finish earlier. As you say, if he manages to do it in his first try.
You could do it, Tairr.
So, Tairr.
Hammer strats work exactly like Tempered Sword strats. They do the same damage, so it'll be 12 hits for the first 2 phases, 4 hits for the 3rd phase, and then a hit plus a silver. Hit plus silver. Exactly. This one can be a little inconvenient. The hardest part is phase 2, this one right here. You really need him to go up into the top left or right part of the map, so you can set up some easy attacks, and he's getting it! That is beautiful. Now you can actually line up right at the top of his head, just as Tairr is doing. You don't move at all, and you can just wail on him.
Yeah, this is the best spot you can possibly be in. Tairr needs to, yes, very good. Drink some of his red goo. And there we go, only one more phase after this.
As long as he doesn't take a silly fall, we'll have that beautiful sub 3. And potentially our 5th place finisher. See? Did you get the silver arrows from the smiths? I sure did.
I sure did, Ganon. Oh, Tairr. It's really kind of hard to hit here.
Tairr, don't. Just kill him, please. It's almost been 3 hours. We got stuff to do. Did you might have just... Tairr, please. Do you not want the sub 3?
Apparently not.
Alright, well, I'm ready if we want to cut over to the next race.
Okay, finally gets a silver arrow in. I think he's done with the silver-less strats here.
Gonna be able to get a double here. Nice.
Very nice. One more to go.
Well, he'll get the sub 3 Ganon kill.
He definitely trolled us enough for the not sub 3. I think that was his goal.
What a jerk. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming with this beautiful daily race. Tairr taking that 5th place spot with a time of 3 hours and 24 seconds. GG's to him. I don't believe we have time for interviews. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten any word on that, but I just want to give a congratulations to all the runners that have finished thus far. Congratulations to all the runners that participated in this madness. Congratulations and GG's, and thanks to all the people involved in making this this crazy race go. Shouts to our trackers, shouts to the commentators, restreamer, everybody involved. We gotta head on over for some Super Mario Odyssey coming up. Thank you all so much. My name's been Willard J. Bradley. Take it easy.
Yep, and I've been Herfy Durfy. You guys hopefully have a great night. Bye-bye.